Fox Sports.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros are back home. They open a 7-game homestand with the first of 4 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. After a quick 3-game sweep at the hands of the Atlanta Braves, the Astros want to get back home and establish themselves in the winning column tonight, JD.
Yeah, they've dropped 6 in a row. The good news, I think it's good news, is that the Diamondbacks are also scuffling. They got swept in a weekend series by the Chicago Cubs, but the Astros' last 2 series were against a struggling Reds team and a struggling Braves team, and they lost all those games. We'll see what happens tonight.
Our Jaguar key matchup will take you to the closers, brought to you by the 2011 Jaguar XJ.
Well, the Diamondbacks score a ton of runs, but they give up a lot of runs, too. Their bullpen has really struggled collectively. Their pen has an ERA above 7. The closer, Chad Qualls, he's blown 2 save opportunities already, has an ERA above 8. Matt Lindstrom, when given an opportunity, has been very good, 6 out of 6 in save chances.
Coming up, the Diamondbacks have a young man making his major league debut on the mound, Cesar Valdez, at Minute Maid Park. Meanwhile, the Astros hope to spoil the evening for him and get on track offensively. They had some good swings on the last homestand. They're looking for much more tonight as Game 1 comes your way in just a moment. The 2010 F-150 by Jack in the Box. by the Progressive Insurance Group, and by Southwest Airlines. A very warm day, possibly a record temperature today. It was expected to hit 91 or 92 for a high. We haven't heard yet. And now, as the game moves to the beginning stages, it's Felipe Paulino warming up here at Minute Maid Park for the first of 7 for the Astros on this homestand. San Diego Padres will be here. Here's the lineup for the Diamondback Snakes. Kelly Johnson leads it off at second base. It's Justin Upton in right field. Stephen Drew is the shortstop batting third. Then it's Mark Reynolds at third base. Adam LaRoche at first base. Chris Young at center field. Houston Bourn. Gerardo Parra in left field. Chris Snyder, another Houston-born player. The catcher, Cesar Valdez, is the pitcher.
Big Felipe Paulino goes for the Astros tonight. You look at the numbers. He's made 4 starts. The Astros have lost them all. He personally is 0-3 with a 5.40 ERA. He's been victimized by some shaky defense, and like all the other Astros starters, a lack of run support. Speaking of defense, he'll get help tonight from Lee Bourn and Corey Sullivan making just his second start in right field tonight. Feliz Manzella, Keppinger Berkman, and Humberto Quintero is the catcher.
Paulino, shooting for win number 1 of the year, has lost his last 3 starts after getting a no decision. As he faces Arizona, it's his first career start against the Diamondbacks. He's pitched twice against them in relief with no decisions. And it is hard-hitting Kelly Johnson, player of the month in the National League in April. Starting out at .310 tonight with 9 homers, 18 runs batted in. He's second in the league in total bases right now. Leadoff man for A.J. Hinch, taking strike 1. Hunter Wendelstedt is the home plate umpire. Johnson leads the league in extra base hits. Former Atlanta Brave fouls it back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes, and he has unlocked the talent this year in a Diamondback uniform.
Yeah, we've seen him. He's always played well against the Astros, and he had some good moments of half years, in Atlanta, never able to really put it all together. Playing time was part of the issue, and he's really enjoyed hitting in that ballpark in Arizona.
That one goes foul. It's 88 degrees at game time. Kelly, 28 years old. Last year, he hit 8 home runs for the Braves in 303 at-bats. His high for homers in a season, 16 in 07. Paulino throws in the dirt. So Felipe really has a challenge on his hands tonight, facing a club which averages 5.8 runs per game, best in the league. He's working quickly on this warm night.
Yeah, they have a lot of thunder in their lineup, but they have guys that strike out a lot too. So most of these guys have holes you can exploit if you're on your game.
Very good point. That was a hanger, fouled away. It's a high-risk, high-reward type of offense. They're striking out more than any team and hitting home runs more than any team, so it can be really feast or famine, but they scored 5 runs in each of the 4 games in Chicago. In the air near the left field line, Carlos Lee coming over. Feliz giving chase, and for this foul ball, it winds up being just a harmless strike to Kelly Johnson.
It must be a Phoenix thing, because doesn't the basketball team there score a lot of points and give up a lot too? There's something about the desert. And the football team too, I think, scores a lot. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just guessing. I think I heard that somewhere on TV.
Everything's at altitude.
And if you hear it on TV, by golly, it's true.
And there's a nice breaker. The Diamondbacks will battle a pitcher. They're averaging more pitches per plate appearance than any team in the league. Paulino had to work, but he broke off a nice pitch.
Yeah, and I think it's important for Felipe to find this breaking pitch early and to feel comfortable with it, because sometimes when he gets in a little bit of a jam, his tendency is to try to hump up and just overthrow the fastball. He's got to learn to trust his breaking pitch when under pressure, when hitters are kind of geared up and looking for that heater.
22-year-old Justin Upton, brother of Tampa Bay's B.J. Upton, gets a breaker himself, and there's ball 1 to a .224 hitter with 4 homers, 13 runs batted in. Upton came on really strong at the end of last season, finishing with 26 homers, 86 runs batted in. Not really hitting his stride to this point of the season. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, he made the All-Star team last year, and if he gets it going with all these other guys, then my goodness.
Yeah. Foul away. Connor Jackson had been leading off, and the first baseman outfielder is injured right now. Expected to go out tomorrow on a rehab assignment to the minor leagues and rejoin the Diamondbacks next weekend. they have filled in quite capably without him. Paulino falls behind now, 3-1 to Upton, and Upton has speed. So it's Jackson, it's Miguel Montero, the starting catcher, Chris Benson, Brandon Webb, all on the disabled list right now.
Brandon Webb would obviously really help his pitching staff. He made one start all of last year and was hopeful to be able to come back this year, and they had to shut him down again. Upton pulling off that fastball, trying to hit it 7 miles.
Yes, he was. He had a huge swing at that pitch.
That's what you do on 3-1.
Bounce of a shortstop. Tommy Manzella to his right. 2 down. Paulino falls behind Upton, 3-1, comes back to get him, and now it's Stephen Drew. Paulino was victimized by some errors in his last start. Gave up 4 unearned runs in a loss to Cincinnati, 6-4. He's not had much run support. Stephen Drew at 290 with 2 homers has driven in 10. Brother J.D., the right fielder for the Boston Red Sox. Stephen is 27, like his brothers. He's a first-round pick. Also, Tim, a pitcher, was a first-rounder. There's that last start we talked about against the Reds. There was a fly ball lost in the twilight in right center field. Carlos Lee back in left. At the base of the wall, he makes it a 1-2-3 first for Paulino. The Astros against a man making his debut. Come up against Cesar Valdez, who makes his major league debut. Against this lineup, Michael Bourn in center field, Jeff Keppinger second base, Carlos Lee in left field, the cleanup man is first baseman Lance Berkman, Pedro Feliz at third base, Corey Sullivan in right field, Tommy Manzella at shortstop, Roberto Quintero the catcher for Felipe Paulino.
Cesar Valdez, 25 years of age, making his major league debut here tonight. Sinker, slider, curve, and changeup. Not a real hard thrower, relies on movement and command. D-backs signed him in 2005 as a non-drafted free agent from the Dominican Republic. Minor league record of 37-33. He was their minor league pitcher of the year in 2008. Was limited last year to 18 starts with some injury problems. 1-1 with a 3.80 ERA so far this year with their AAA club at Reno.
Michael Bourn, the first to test him, with the third baseman Reynolds in on the grass. Bourn takes, and there's strike one. Michael at 317 has 3 runs batted in, and he has a 404 on base average. He was 3 for 12 in that series in Atlanta over the weekend. And there's the sink, and Valdez features a good power sinker. Also, the changeup is a quality pitch for him. Slider is his third best pitch. It's 2-1.
And the hope is that he's a little amped up there, and they'll have a tendency to overthrow, and maybe the sinker will flatten out and straighten out on him. The Baseball America last year said he had the best curveball and the best changeup in the organization. And everybody I talk to with the D-backs talk about sinker changeup. And this is the changeup here.
He's not pitched since a week ago Sunday. Pitching against Colorado Springs, he gave up 3 runs in 7 innings, throwing 91 pitches. He's taking Chris Benson's spot in the rotation. Benson out with a pectoral muscle injury. 3-2 to Bourn. Valdez just called up today to take this start, and the D-backs demoted a member of their beleaguered bullpen to make room for him.
Well, the pitching staff for the Diamondbacks should be the land of opportunity. I mean, when you look at the number some of these guys have put up, I would think if you're down on the farm and you're pitching well, you're kind of chomping at the bit saying, what am I going to get my chance? Because there's some bloated earned run averages on that pitching staff.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. is the pitching coach there. Alongside the skipper, A.J. Hinch. Bourn works the leadoff walk. That's his 12th walk of the year. And he's a threat to go with 10 steals in 13 attempts.
Well, let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Good speed in the outfield. Young and Upton especially. Parra covers left. Mark Reynolds, Stephen Drew man the left side. Kelly Johnson and newcomer Adam LaRoche the right. Chris Snyder, he's also a Houston guy. University of Houston product. He's behind the dish, and he may have gone out to his young right-hander and said, hey, don't worry too much about Bourn. He's a base stealer, but you got to settle in and make pitches.
And he's looking in now with Jeff Keppinger batting. Bourn draws a throw, gets back standing up. Quick feet.
Or he went out and said, hey, don't leave me hanging. Make sure you keep an eye on him over there. And Michael, 10 out of 13 in steals. Chris Snyder's throwing up 4 of 18. You don't know much about Valdez in terms of how quick he is to home and kind of a move he has.
Keppinger takes ball 1.
Bobby Meacham with the stopwatch down there, timing that delivery, and he'll go over and whisper in Michael's ear. Okay, got him at 1.2 there.
See Keppinger with that respectable 370 on base average after Bourne's 404. So the Astros have some people who can get on for the 3-4-5 hitters. They just have not been clicking as an offense. Now it's 2 balls, no strikes. Keppinger getting the call at second base tonight.
See, and that's why I made the point about Snyder maybe saying don't worry too much about Bourn. You know, a guy making his first big league start is going to be awfully jittery out there. The one thing you're trying to avoid if you're the D-backs is just an implosion. And don't worry too much about the runner. Just try to find the strike zone and get outs.
The Diamondbacks have played 25 games. They've given up 20 runs in the first inning. That's the second highest total in Major League Baseball. The Astros have scored only 7 runs in the first inning of their games. Bourn takes off. Here's Snyder's throw. It's there, but not in time. It was a little high, and Bourn got in underneath the tag from Johnson. Stolen base number 11. He takes over the National League lead.
So, you know, they try to keep him close, but he ultimately got the bag anyway. And with that pitch, Valdez is now down in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Ooh, pretty close.
It was.
Snyder got rid of it in pretty good shape there. I'm not sure. 50-50.
Bourn gets the call. It's steal number 11. Rajay Davis, and it's a strike to Keppinger. 3 balls and a strike. And Keppinger will be followed by Lee. Keppinger's walked 8 times this year. Takes and it's 3-2 to Jeff. Astros trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. They've been outscored during those 6, 37-12. They'd love to get this crowd involved tonight by having a nice first inning. To shortstop through. Bourn going back takes care of out number 1. And it's Carlos Lee with the RBI opportunity.
Well, so far Valdez has been primarily fastball and sinker, and I think maybe 1 changeup to Bourn. See if he breaks out a little slider or curveball here to Carlos.
Carlos had good swings yesterday. He stung the ball 3 times in Atlanta. His average is 191. He has 5 runs batted in. Hasn't homered in 144 at bats going back to last year. But he's been hitting the ball sharply in recent games, just not getting the kind of lift to hit a home run. Takes strike 1.
And I think most big league hitters would tell you it's awfully hard to hit a home run if you're trying to hit a home run.
Yeah. September 16th, his last one. He's hit .293 in his last 11 games. There's the stop by Snyder, who pounced on it, and it's 1-1. Snyder's cashing in on this playing opportunity and doing well with the injury to Montero, who was expected to get the lion's share of the catching this year.
Important to get a good aggressive secondary lead out there at second base. Give yourself a chance to advance on a ball in the dirt. Kelly Johnson, though, is kind of keeping a watchful eye on Michael out there. Not giving him much room.
And he's also in a position to spoil a Carlos lead. Ball hit up the middle. Carlos frequently in RBI situations thinks up the middle, but he has plenty of room on the other side of second base. Stephen Drew playing him around the pole. Cleared out of play, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Caballo's a .313 career hitter against the D-backs. Diamondbacks lead the all-time series 48-38 with Houston. And they also lead in games here at Minute Maid Park 21-19. A.J. Hinch is in his second full season with the Diamondbacks as their manager. Carlos taps 1 foul to Dave Clark at third. Carlos has hit .300 or better with 26 homers or more, 100 RBIs or more in each of the last 4 years. If he's to live up to those standards, he has a really good 5 months coming up. Berkman's on deck. Happy birthday to Barbara Coleman, Gene Coleman's wife.
29.
Over first base. It's on the line. That'll score Bourn. And Lee will hit for second base. 1-0 Houston. Carlos has been stinging balls, and some of them have been caught. Now he loops one, and it goes as an RBI double.
Yeah, the extra base hits just haven't been falling, and now he gets one on a little flare. Well, when you're scuffling, you'll take whatever you can get. But a 1-0 lead here. Bourn does it again, draws the walk, comes around to score.
Double number 3 for Carlos. Now it's Lance Berkman with a man in scoring position. Lance with a .211 average. Has a couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in. He talked on Astros Live with Greg Lucas about seeing the ball. He says he thinks he's swinging at the proper pitches and letting the balls go by, but he's just not putting a good swing on those pitches he wants to hit. Getting closer though. Timing, and there's ball 1 to him. That's a .273 career hitter, but he hit his 300th career homer against the D-backs at Chase Field last June 13th. Big moment for him. He's at .315 now on the home run chart. Fouls it back, and it's 1-1. Diamondback Club is on a road trip of 11 games, including a couple of 4-game series. That's pretty unusual. 3 and 4 so far on this trip. They won 2 of 3 at Colorado and then lost 3 of 4 at Chicago.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a 4-game set they had in Chicago. I kept saying they got swept there, but then when they won the first game of that 4-game series, and then lost 3 in a row, the Cubs have really started to pound the ball.
Yes, they have. Berkman questions that call from Hunter Wendelstedt. Snyder reached up to catch it. And goes back.
That's the pitch they're supposed to be calling a strike. A lot of guys don't, so it becomes difficult for the hitters. If one guy does, another guy doesn't.
Feliz is on deck. Bourn takes. That makes it 2-2 to Lance. Well, the Astros already have taken more pitches and worked the count more than they have in probably 90% of their innings this year. They're averaging 3 runs per game. Berkman fouls it back. When they score 4 runs or more, they have an excellent record. And that's not to say that would be enough to beat this Arizona club, which is prolific in scoring runs this year. But the Astros are 7-3 when they get at least 4 runs in a game. Brad Mills ready for a breakout for his club offensively. He has seen some good signs. Broken bat, foul ball.
And Valdez, in terms of velocity, below average, throwing 88, 89 miles an hour here. And he's shown the good sink on occasion, but he's thrown a number of fastballs over the middle of the plate. He's got the advantage of the Astros having not seen him. But he's either going to have to start to get better sink on his fastball or start to mix in more breaking pitches. I shouldn't say he's going to have to. You never know. The Astros scuffling the way they are. But you would think if he doesn't come up, create a little more movement and start to work in his breaking ball, second time around the order, they're going to get some pretty good whacks at him.
Berkman looks at it. It's ball 3 and a full count now. Third full count to the first 4 batters. He's the 15th different Arizona starting pitcher since the beginning of the 09 season. And he walked him. Berkman takes his 7th base on balls, bringing up Pedro Feliz.
And Berkman, he's such a smart hitter. He knows how Chris Snyder's going to approach him. In that instance, 3-2, I'm sure he's not trying to think along with Valdez. He's thinking along with the veteran catcher, Chris Snyder, knowing that there's a base opening. They're not going to throw me a fastball here. They're going to try to trick me with a changeup. And obviously, he saw it out of his hand well and was able to spit on it and take his base.
Well, Stottlemyre Jr. talking it over with a rookie and with Chris Snyder. Enjoyed having his father, Mel Sr., as the Astros pitching coach. I think Mel Sr. helped out in spring training this year with the Diamondbacks. 2 men on, 1 out for Feliz. Feliz, one of those guys who has hit very well against this Arizona team. Back to his Giants days, he has more career homers against Arizona than anybody else on the Astros, 15. Takes ball 1. Pedro went 1 for 8 this weekend against the Braves. And with 10 runs batted in, he's the top dog on the Astros RBI chart in the early going this season.
3-run jack would be nice.
Very nice. 1-1. Astros are hitting .255 at home, .204 on the road. That's the 3rd highest differential, home versus road. 51 points in the major leagues right now. Grounded foul. 1-2.
Hey, did you have the radio on our drive home last night? Did you turn on the ball game?
No.
What time we get it? 7, 8, I turned on the Met Philly game. And Phillies put up a 9 spot on Johan Santana, 2 outs in the inning.
Oh boy, it's just crazy. Well, they got what, a Victorino grand slam?
Yeah, after a base loaded walk to Jamie Moyer with 2 outs.
To Jamie Moyer?
Yeah.
Feliz hits the inside pitch, foul, and it's 1-2. Well, towards Santana's ERA. The Mets have really been pitching well, too.
just a matter of time for the Philly lineup's going to jump up and bite somebody. They got the Mets in back-to-back days.
Phillies moved in front of New York by a half game atop the NL East with that win. Popped up, out of play. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pedro looking for something. Even with 2 strikes, it looks to me like he was looking for something he could jerk there. And a bit of a defensive swing on that fastball on the outside edge, but enough to stay alive.
Valdez, for what you make of AAA numbers, was 1-1 for Reno, a 3.80 ERA, 23 2/3 innings, 5 walks, 25 strikeouts. In the air and maybe catchable. Let's see if Snyder can get there. No, it's bouncing on the roof of the dugout. Still a 1-2 count. Valdez having a hard time finishing off hitters when he gets to 2 strikes. He's been at 2 strikes on every hitter so far.
And see, to me, this is an instance where Snyder should go out to the mound and say, hey, you've got him in swing mode here. Let's take a shot, either with a slider way off the plate or a fastball way up. I mean, he's throwing him, pretty good pitches, but they're around the plate. And Feliz is a guy that rarely walks. He likes to swing the bat. He's up there in an RBI situation. This is where a veteran catcher could really be a difference maker.
Grounded and is picked up by the third baseman Reynolds. He goes to second. There's the turn by Kelly Johnson for a 5-4-3 double play. The Astros get a run on 1 hit. They strand a man. It's 1-0 Houston. Is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Here are the Major League home run leaders this season. There's Reynolds alongside Kelly Johnson, his teammate, Robinson Cano, and Andre Ethier. 3 home runs behind the Major League leader. Paul Konerko of the White Sox has a dozen.
You put the Astros team on that list with 9.
Yeah, you can do that. Strike to Reynolds with the 9 homers. He's driven in 23 runs. He has a .241 average. All kinds of power to all fields.
Diamondbacks have hit 12 in the last week. This guy is pretty impressive hitter. Strikes out a bunch. Set the record. He had 44 jacks last year, and that's a trade-off to Diamondbacks. And Mark Reynolds, more importantly, is willing to live with. He didn't really want to change his approach.
He hit 2 home runs in the Cubs series. Breaking pitch, and the appeal goes to first. He checked his swing. And Runge with a call. It's 3-1 to Reynolds. Reynolds struck out 223 times last year.
Yeah, and a lot of it, he does take walks. It's not just up there hacking. But he takes a big swing, swings and misses a lot, and works a lot of deep counts. And that's why he strikes out so much. But he is willing to take a walk. He walked 76 times last year, had a respectable on-base percentage of .350.
Adam LaRoche has stayed away from his characteristically bad start. And he's out of the gates very well here in 2010, hitting .280 with 4 homers, 17 runs batted in. Coming into this season, his career batting average in April was .195, the lowest among all active players. But then his career average from May 1st on has been .287. He gets there. Last year he got to 25 homers, 83 runs batted in, with a .277 overall average.
So here we go. 22nd pitch of the game, the first pickoff attempt by Q. So you had 22 in the Q pickoff pool. You're a winner. And he loves it with that left-handed hitter up there. He can sneak behind him.
Yes.
Reynolds can run a little bit.
Yeah, he can. Even Diamondbacks have not done a lot of running yet this year.
So if Adam LaRoche is a stock, are you buying or selling? Do you figure he's a guy who's going to fall off because of this hot start, or is he going to have a monster year? A guy who normally has a tough first half and he's off to a good start, he could just have his best year ever.
Really good question. Taps it foul. He has had pretty consistent numbers each year. But people focus on the fact that he's been unproductive in April, but his best year, 32 homers, 90 runs batted in with the Braves in '06. He's consistently at 20 homers and at least 78 runs batted in. Done that 5 years in a row.
Not one of the elite power hitting first basemen in the game, but a pretty productive player. Maybe training in the desert was a difference maker for him. Having spring training for the first time in his career.
Maybe so.
In Arizona, yeah.
Whatever he's done, if it's any different than previous years, he should probably think about repeating it.
Here's our Gexa Energy pitch tracker. Going to let you know all night long where these borderline pitches are.
That fastball came up at 97 miles per hour, foul back. On Thursday, LaRoche got the home run bat out. He went 3 for 4. Drove in 5. Hit a 3-run homer. And a solo homer. It's his 13th career multi-home run game.
Yes.
Throw. Oh, Berkman had to lean over.
Yeah, this is a challenge for Lance tonight with Q behind the plate and Felipe. Felipe, when he comes to first, it's not I'm just going to give him a show. He's firing it over there at about 95.
Chris Young's on deck with a 2-2 count for Paulino.
Try to take a little off. He'd probably throw it in the seats.
Hit off the leg of LaRoche. His right instep.
Front foot, yeah. It's all right. Speed's not part of his game anyway.
No.
What is, though, he's a good alley hitter. And the Astros have the outfield bunched a little bit. You see Carlos over there towards a little cutout area. Michael Bourn playing straight up. So they kind of pinch the gaps for Adam LaRoche.
Strike 3 call. Paulino gets a second strikeout.
Now the 88-mile-an-hour changeup about belt high. And that's the advantage of being such a hard thrower. You know, taken independently, if you look at that pitch, you go, it's a little scary to throw that changeup right over the heart of the plate up like that. But coming off that 97-mile-an-hour fastball, he really fooled LaRoche.
Secondary pitches are fitting in well for Felipe. Now it's Chris Young of Houston. Went to Bel Air High School where he was first-team All-State. He's a .409 career hitter in this ballpark. He gets back here with his family and friends watching and has a field day. .284 for the season, 4 homers, 21 driven in, and an .817 OPS.
Maybe he wants to come home to play. He comes home and showcases his talent. Just look, come and get me.
Yeah. Another move to first, and it trickles away from Berkman, not very far. Banged his mitt, so maybe he could have had Reynolds. Reynolds did not slide going back in. We'll see it.
He's not taking a real big lead. He's got 1 stolen base, not in just 1 try. Diamondbacks as a team have stolen 11 times.
Strike to Young. Young is one of those guys who can steal.
And the slider catches the inside corner. And I think with Paulino paying attention to the base runners and Quintero with his arm behind the plate, the fact that they hit as many home runs as they do, Hinch probably isn't going to be looking to run a whole lot tonight or in this series.
To left center field, Carlos Lee heads back toward the bullpen wall. And Young has smacked it off that wall. Bo Porter sending Reynolds onto the plate. Manzela's relay throw cut off, and it's a 1-1 game. And an RBI double by Young. His 7th double of the year, giving him 22 runs batted in.
He's among the league leaders in RBI.
Reynolds scores from first to tie it.
Michael Bourn drew a leadoff walk and scored. Reynolds draws a leadoff walk and scores.
Now Paulino faces Gerardo Parra from Venezuela. Parra got a lot of playing time last year in the D-back outfield. 255 with 5 runs batted in. That was ball 1 to Parra.
Must have been just a hair low. It's a pretty good looking pitch.
And that's high.
Young, a speedster. He's capable of stealing a bag, so Tommy Manziel is trying to keep an eye on him. Tougher chance for a base runner to steal third with a left-handed hitter in the box. Catcher's got a clean shot at him. But for Paulino, it's worth a second look every now and then. Make him stop.
Good looking pitch there. Makes it 2-1 to Parra with Snyder on deck. Parra homered in his first major league at bat last year on his way to a .290 batting average with 455 at bats for the D-backs. Fastball foul back makes it 2-2 to Parra.
He's got a nice short stroke, pretty quick bat. He doesn't hit for a lot of power. Just 5 home runs last year, 21 doubles.
He came up from Double-A Mobile, where he was a .361 hitter. Stuck with the major league club. He'll turn 23 on Thursday.
Just a child.
Yes, he is. And he hits that one foul. Beautiful evening in downtown Houston. Starting to cool down a little bit now. It was extremely warm this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a little hot. Although the humidity wasn't bad.
It's supposed to be nice throughout the week. It's Pink in the Park week here at Minute Maid Park. Pink all over the place. Inside. 3-2 to Parra. Pink ribbons displayed throughout on dugout tops, on the train, on banners and signs. The Astros star on the wall behind home plate is pink in support of breast cancer awareness and to celebrate moms as well. Mother's Day on Sunday.
We should get Pink out here to sing the anthem. And maybe we'll get Pinky Tuscadero to come out throughout the first pitch.
There you go. Today, the Astros in Action Foundation hosted the first ever Pink in the Park Tea Time Ladies Golf Outing, presented by Minute Maid. That was at Redstone.
Pinkstone for today.
Some of the proceeds going to breast cancer research. Fouled away, still 3-2, and Parra puts up a battle here.
Yeah, that's that short stroke. He goes into 2-strike mode. And his normal approach isn't to try to unload anyway. Fought off a good fastball there. Doing a lot of talking to himself.
Good off-speed stuff. Well, that secondary stuff's really working for Felipe in this game.
Yeah, I mentioned that back in the first inning. He has shown a good. For the most part, he's been fastball slider, but I really like his curveball. It's got more depth to it, and it's a much softer pitch than his slider. If hitters go up to face Felipe, and they're just thinking fastball slider, there's not that much of a differential. But that slow curve, that gives him a completely different look.
40 pitches in. Diamondbacks have taken every first pitch, and here's an intentional walk now. He is working very hard in this inning, and you get a chance to face the pitcher to get out of it.
This intentional walk is a function of the fact that the Astros aren't scoring any runs. If you're confident that you're going to score runs and you're not worried, typically you don't worry too much about one run in the second inning of a ball game. But because the Astros have scuffled, you can understand Brad Mills' thinking.
And here's ball 4 as we go to Bart Ennis. Bart?
Hey, Brownie, how about this deal? 10 Astros games for only $20. For a limited time, you can score an outfield deck seat to 10 select Astros games for just $20 with the 10 for $20 plan. That's only $2 a game and a savings of $50 per plan. The 2 for $20 plan goes on sale tomorrow. Buy yours at Astros.com. Brownie?
Great pricing there. Now the pitcher Valdez comes up at 2 on, 2 outs. First major league plate appearance for Cesar. And there's strike 1 to him. Maybe he's been getting advice from Dan Herron. Herron is 9 for 18.
No, that means Dan Herron has to work every day now. Put the spikes on. We might need you to pinch hit.
It could happen. They've used him once as a pinch hitter already this year. And he got a hit. No balls, 2 strikes. Herron will be pitching in this series Thursday night against Wandy Rodriguez at 7:05. 1-2. Paulino has kept the ball in the park this year. No home runs allowed for Felipe. He goes to the curve again and gets a strikeout to strike out the side. That's 4 in the game for him. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 left for the D-backs. It's 1-1 in the second.
Press level, reminding you that fan mail is open. If you want to contribute something tonight, just go to foxsportshouston.com, the website. There's one button you can push to click on, or you can use the address. We'd love to hear from you. Those of you that have questions that might fit into the telecast, we'll get them in. I've got a comment I want to make to the guys upstairs. I don't know if you noticed, but on the Kevin pointed this out to me on the Fox box in the last half inning. When Paulino walked Snyder, he was throwing it up there at 85 miles an hour. I don't believe I've ever seen an intentional walk thrown that hard.
Yeah, that might be the hardest throwing intentional walk we've seen. Good point. Corey Sullivan leads it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Hunter Pence getting a rest tonight. And Corey, no 95 average, no homers, 2 runs batted in, trying to get something started in the home second inning against Cesar Valdez. He looks at strike 1. He's among the leaders in the National League in pinch hit at bats. This is start number 3 of the year for him. It's 1-1 to Sullivan. St. Louis 1, Philadelphia 1. They're in the bottom of the 6th at Philadelphia. With the young lefty Jaime Garcia going for the Cardinals, pitching well again.
It was a good sinker splitter or something. That's the fear, that you had him on the rope in that first inning and he got out of it, and then maybe he kind of settles in. Look at the movement here. That's a good power sinker. Yesterday, Derek Lowe threw a whole bunch of those at the Astros in his 5 innings.
They look at the third base umpire. No swing on the ruling by Mike Winters. 2-2.
Worked the first time. He comes right back, and he almost gets Sullivan to offer.
Topped up the first base line. Sullivan keeps himself in the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Edwin Jackson started yesterday in the 10-5 Diamondback loss at Chicago. He lasted 4 innings.
Yeah, he's really struggling. I'm going to have a talk with him. He's on my fantasy club, and I'm really expecting him to get things turned around. But he's got an ERA of 8.07 now. He's really been hit hard.
Strikeout, and that's number 1 in the Major League career of Cesar Valdez.
Another sinker. This one off the plate inside a little bit. Corey Sullivan can go back to the dugout knowing he's going to get a couple more chances, but all you do is pinch hit. That's tough. Tonight he'll be able to react to that at bat next time up.
224 for Tommy Manzella with 3 runs batted in. He started the first game in Atlanta and then sat out the next 2, at least as far as the starting lineup went. There's ball 1. Came in late in the Saturday game. He was 0 for 3 in that series. He's hit safely in 4 of his last 5 starts. The next telecast comes your way tomorrow. Astros live at 6:30. Ian Kennedy, who's pitched well against Roy Oswalt.
Very historical matchup.
2 balls and a strike. Manager A.J. Hinch came from Stanford. He's an All-America catcher there.
Just 35 years of age.
Three and 1 to Tommy Manzella, who's drawn 1 walk this year. Quintero's next. Eric Wedge was the last manager in the majors to be younger than Hinch. That's ball 4. Manzella's aboard with walk number 3 of the game for Valdez.
Tommy hasn't walked much, and really keyhole there. That pitch just off the outside corner.
Quintero, a 194 hitter with 1 homer, has driven in 3. He's been the catcher for all of Paulino's starts.
I would suspect, or I'd be tempted if I were Brad Mills, to try a little hit and run in this sequence. Because with this guy's sinker, a double play ends the inning, and then you're stuck with Paulino leading off the next. It's a good time to try to start a little something.
That's ball 1.
Right here.
Okay, this is it.
He's coming off a walk. He's gotten 1-0. This should be a time where you anticipate the pitcher being willing to throw in over the fat part of the plate.
It's 1-1.
Guy behind home plate looks like Peter Graves. He passed away recently, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
That's probably not him then.
Former Mission Impossible star.
That would really be impossible if that was him.
He does look like Peter. Runner going. There's a bouncer. It works. On through into right center field. Manzella to third base. Dave Clark will stop him there. And that was great work by Quintero, who bounced it through the opening on the right side.
Man, you're just asking for the double play if you wait back for this guy with all those sinkers, the cue up there. It's a good call by Millsy and good execution. And Manzella on the move. Second baseman had coverage, opened up that hole on the right side. don't know. With Quintero hitting, I'd leave the second baseman at home, not my shortstop coverage.
That's a good point. He does hit the ball to the right side often. Now Paulino is 3 for 6.
And Stephen Drew's talking to Kelly Johnson over there. I don't know if they're, because it looked like Drew was breaking in that direction as well.
Okay.
Maybe for a potential flip from Johnson. Maybe there was some confusion as to who had the bag.
Paulino's done well when swinging away. Michael Bourn on deck. See what he's up to here with 1 out. Working at first base. Paulino has 2 sacrifice bunts as well as those 3 hits. One of his hits a double over the head of the right fielder.
I'm looking down at my scoreboard. Did he fake to third there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Was it a legitimate fake? I mean,
semi.
Yeah.
Strike to Paulino. That series of signs, and Paulino steps back in with the 0-1 count.
If you're thinking squeeze, 1 out's the time to do it.
Swinging away, and it's 2 strikes to Paulino.
This is a lot of times it's a slam dunk bunt situation, but 1 out. If you get the bunt down, you've got second and third, you've got 1 chance to drive that run in. Although Michael Bourn has been swinging the bat well.
Now that pitch hit it. On the right elbow. The bases are loaded. They appeal on the swing, but the ruling was he did not offer at it on a bunt attempt. So Brian Runge was appealed to on the call. Now A.J. Hinch is coming out.
Now he's pulling it back.
It was
good, yeah.
His whole body back.
Pulling everything back. In full retreat mode there.
Head athletic trainer Nate Lucero out. Paulino got it on the right elbow area. Brad Mills flexes his hand to make sure he's going to be all right to pitch.
The good news is it was like an off-speed breaking ball. Hopefully. But if they hit you right on the point of the elbow, it doesn't matter what the pitch is.
Funny bone area. Certainly affect his pitching, but that's where it got him. Bobby Meacham with the bases loaded, talking to Paulino with 1 out. Michael Bourn, the batter. He drew a walk and scored in the first. That's a tough pitch for strike 1 for Valdez. Valdez has walked 3, hit a batter, allowed 2 hits. He's thrown 51 pitches. And Bourn would love to pick on one here and drive it. Line to third and diving back Mancella. Paulino got back to first. He was headed towards second base.
And that was Reynolds' best option would have been to go to first base. I think they would have been able to double Felipe off. You should see it in this shot here. There's the line drive. Felipe, who was just told moments ago, I'm sure, by Bobby Meacham, freeze on a line, make sure it gets through. But thankfully for Paulino and the Astros, Reynolds saw Manziel out of the corner of his eye, and the guy closest to you is the one that gets your attention. Had to body him off the base. He was playing rugby.
Now Keppinger has an opportunity for a big 2-out hit. Bases loaded. And looks at ball 1. The Astros are hitting as a team only 167 with the bases loaded.
If they come out of these first 2 innings with just the 1 run, with all the traffic they've had and Valdez struggling, they'll be kicking themselves.
Here's a .519 hitter with the bases loaded. Works the count to 2-0. Carlos Lee on deck. Keppinger this year is hitting .353 with runners in scoring position. Grounded out earlier when Bourn was at second base. Shortstop. Second baseman Johnson playing on the grass. It's 2-1.
for Valdez. Borderline pitch, could have gone either way. And sinker. Oh, man. Big difference between hitting 2-1 and 3-0.
Yep, 2,000. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Arizona starting pitchers have an ERA of 5.34.
And that's way better than their bullpen.
Yeah, it is. Bullpen 7.02. Keppinger bounces one. Steven Drew comes in and throws him out. And the Astros are frustrated in the second inning. No runs a hit. 3 men stranded. It's tied 1-1. The box standings showing you the NL West. The Padres have gotten out of the gate with a lot of fine pitching, and they're in first place at 16-9, a game and a half in front of the Giants. Then it's the Rockies, the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks.
The Giants are number 2 in the National League in ERA. Padres number 3, and both trail the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Rockies are 5th, despite playing in Coors Field. You know, the Giants and the Padres playing great pitchers' parks. Rockies obviously do not, but all 3 of those clubs really leaned heavily on their pitching. Dodgers pitching is scuffle, but they're scoring a bunch of runs.
Yes, they are. There you have the comparison of the starters. A lot of pitches thrown in these first 2 innings. Kelly Johnson from Austin, Texas, takes ball 1 as he leads off the 3rd. He struck out as the first batter in the game. Kelly went to Westwood High School, where he played shortstop. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
He's got a free swing right here if he wants it.
He wants it. And he fouls it. 2-1.
I don't care how hard you throw when you got a hitter like Johnson, who's obviously seeing the ball very well after this great start. Throw him that cripple fastball up there. You throw it and just hope he hits it at somebody or yanks it foul as he just did.
Known as a very good offensive player over the years, but he's really worked extremely hard, we're being told, defensively this year. Fly ball. Michael Bourn back in right center field. 1 out. And now it's Justin Upton coming up.
A 2-0-3-1 as a pitcher, not how you want to make your living against this lineup. They have too many dangerous hitters. Sleepy able to get away with it there. Jam Johnson a little bit.
Justin with that ground out, his first time up, hit the ball to shortstop, and he, like his brother BJ, was the first player drafted. His year was 05. That's strike one to him. And yesterday against the Cubs, lefty Tom Gorzelani got him to chase a high fastball here and there. And some of his teammates also were chasing.
Gorzelani had a real nice game. He struck out 10.
He did have a good game.
So brothers is kind of a theme here with this Diamondback club. Drew and LaRoche and Upton all having brothers in the big leagues.
Sure is. Drill on that pitch. So Upton can steal a base. He'll be headed for first. He's 4 for 5 in steals. Paulino got hit himself in the last inning.
Just got done talking about how dangerous this Diamondback lineup is. You've got to make sure you do your work inside. Protect that outside part of the plate. Can't afford to let them dive.
Berkman comes over. Sometimes a base stealer will really think even more concentrated about stealing a base after getting drilled by a pitch.
Upton 4 out of 5. Q's thrown out 3 of 8. 3 for 4 successful with Paulino.
Drew the batter.
And Felipe, as hard as he throws the ball to first base, he might hit him again. He might throw over there and drill him in the back with a 96-mile-an-hour pickoff move.
Back in the very old days of baseball, that was one way to put a base runner out. Hit him with the ball.
That's where men were men. This mamby-pamby, pink tea and model cobble stuff.
It's 1-1. Guys could have fun with that these days. Stephen Drew was a first-round pick in 04. He was the 15th player drafted.
I could see that breaking out on campuses all over the country. Just use those rag balls. That would be fun. Don't use hard balls. Use those rag balls.
How about paintball? Does that hurt?
Yeah, I've never done that.
Pausing a long time now, delivers, and it's in the air, foul. A 1 ball, 2 strike count. D-backs have lost 3 in a row, as JD mentioned, after they won that first game at Chicago. Paulino with 59 pitches, labored through the second with 32 in that frame. Now Felipe, his longest outing being 6 innings at Chicago in a loss on April 16th. He threw 108 pitches that day. He didn't have a bad game at all going last time out. He trailed 2-0, and then that 4th inning error in the twilight really cost him. With 2 outs and 2 on, that error was made. Snap throw to first, diving back in up 2-2, but that's kind of the way things have been going for a lot of these Astros pitchers.
See Upton trying to get that aggressive secondary lead, but you got to be careful not to stray too far. Now his mindset's probably one of 2 things. I'm going to take a short lead, stay close to home. Or I'm going to steal this back because I'm tired of these guys trying to pick me off.
He's going. The tap goes foul. That can be a very frustrating thing too for a base stealer when he takes off and the pitch is fouled off 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a pretty good workout in down there. Sometimes he's had to go back in with Paulino coming over and then Q taking a shot at him.
Those years when Maury Wills was setting records, Ricky Henderson, Drew Brock, the punishment they took, sliding into bases, pretty substantial. In the air to center, Michael Bourn. 2 outs. Diamondback club with the power can erupt at any time. A dangerous bunch. They fall behind. It's not a big deal to them.
And that's why they don't run a lot. You have this kind of firepower. You don't want to take too many chances on the bases. Outfielders catching a break now. There's some pretty good cloud cover overhead.
That
makes the ball easier to find in the twilight hours.
Very treacherous last homestand. Those bright skies. Mark Reynolds walked and scored earlier and fouls this one for strike one. Reynolds, they say, has improved defensively this year. Wendelstedt.
He didn't even flinch.
Oh, he did.
Tough. Tough on a $2 steak. He took it to let's play ball.
We had one of those recently.
Is it a bad one on the road trip?
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. Harry Wendelstedt, Hunter's dad, was an umpire for many years. Westlands.
Brian Lundy out there at first. Paul's son.
We'll have to check on that.
No relation there?
I don't think he's his son. He might be related, though. Good fastball at 96. Reynolds will chase the high fastball, but he's dangerous. He can turn it around.
Yeah, as the single season strikeout record, the breakdown, Howard 199 in 07, and then Mark Reynolds last 2 years has built upon that record.
He drives the pitch low. Long way sometimes. Runner going. Hughes throw. Catches tag. Got it. So all that work, and Upton is thrown out. It's no runs, no hits, nobody left. Quintero throwing out his 4th in 7 attempts. It's 1-1 in the 3rd.
During the 7th inning stretch, the crazy 70s. The distracted Cards give up 3 runs in the bottom half of the inning. A 2-run single by Doug Rader. It's the key hit. Votto Steen goes the distance for the W. Streaking, right? That was a big thing in the 70s.
It was. They must have been on their way back from Woodstock. There's ball 1 to Carlos Lee. He had the RBI double.
Took him a long time to get back that.
A few years, yeah. Well, traveling without clothes will do that to you. 1-0 the count to Carlos. He hits it in the air, and the right fielder comes in. Upton. And that's out number 1. Now it's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. We flash back to last year in Arizona when Lance Berkman was sitting on number 299. Number 300 of his career, joining Select Company. Now he comes up for the second time. He walked in the first inning. Astros cleanup men have combined to hit 157 this season. The second lowest batting average of any position in any team's order. The Braves leadoff men have combined to hit 144. That's the worst.
Nope. Carlos went after a high fastball, an elevated fastball. And that's what you're trying to do with this guy. He just didn't get it. Lance had a good swing at one there, just a little late on it. When you face a guy like Valdez with that good sinker, that's what the hitters will go over in the meeting, and the hitting coach, hey, let's make this guy get the ball up a little bit.
Right now, JD, he's in his third inning now of his major league debut. Cesar Valdez threw a lot of pitches in the first two, and the adrenaline obviously is rushing at the beginning of that game. When does it begin to settle in for some guys, with your recollections working on that?
There's a pretty good chance he's going to be somewhat rubber-legged throughout this performance. I mean, I don't know that we get over those. I mean, we do to a degree. And I think most guys in the first year, every start, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of nerves. The problem that a pitcher like Valdez has, any guy making his debut, you tend to hit a wall early in the game.
Well, that'll help him. Fly ball to Upton in right, but center fielder Young takes it. To get Lee and Berkman back-to-back without having to expend a lot of energy will help Valdez.
Now, I don't know his track record. Maybe he's pitched a bunch of winter ball against major league players, and he's a little more comfortable than the average guy making his major league debut.
They had a bad year last year after being a pitcher of the year in 08 for the Diamondbacks in their minor leagues. Into left center by Feliz. Feliz, who bounced into a double play in this first inning, now comes through. That's kind of the way things are going for the Astros hitters. They come up with men in scoring position. They hit a double plays. When they come up with 2 outs, nobody on, they get hits. Those stretches for a lot of the hitters right now.
Bad timing.
Yeah.
Of course, 2 outs, nobody on, you're likely to get a better pitch to swing at than you are in an RBI situation.
Corey Sullivan struck out in the second inning. Little tap, knocked down, but he might get an infield hit, and he will. Watch it at second base. Feliz holds on there after rounding the bag. And Sullivan goes back off the pitcher and reaches on a hit.
If he leaves it alone, a shortstop probably makes a play for him, and he's in the dugout right about now. But instincts took over, tried to glove it. And to his credit, realized he had no play once he tracked this ball down. You see a lot of guys take that ball and airmail it.
Back-to-back 2-out hits bring Manzella to the plate. He walked in the second inning.
Greg Maddux was the master of the leave it alone.
Yeah.
Among all the other things he did so well, he was a great fielder. But, he knew the pace of the ball, whether he needed to try to make a play on it or not. And a lot of times you see him just kind of put his hands up, let the ball go by, and let his infielders handle it.
Manzella lays off, and it's 2-0 to Tommy. He's hit 250 with runners in scoring position. He worked the count to 3-1 and drew that walk in the second inning. Now again finds himself ahead in the count. Looking for a good pitch to handle with Quintero on deck. Feliz at second, Sullivan at first in a tie game in the third. Popped up. Chris Snyder away with a mask. Off the screen. 2-1. Snyder said he came back this winter to Houston. Doesn't get back too often. He lives in Arizona now. His coach in high school at Springwood, Charlie Mayorena, has been battling stomach cancer. Just came back. He always enjoys it. Former University of Houston catcher. Tape on his fingers, it looks like, to aid the pitcher, seeing which fingers he drops down. Line drive goes foul. 2-2 to Manzella.
Talk about a hanger.
Yeah, he was up there for him.
Way out in front.
Valdez has thrown 70 pitches now. Lincoln Park week. She's wearing pink. Pink caps are going out to the ladies on Friday night to the first 10,000 fans, courtesy of AT&T. Breaking ball gets him. And it's no runs, 2 hits. 2-man left. Strikeout number 2 for Valdez ends the Astros' 3rd inning uprising. It's tied 1-1.
Now for our progressive fan of the game. Back in the bottom of the first, Pedro Feliz bounced a foul ball off the visitor's dugout. And my guest, our progressive fan of the game, what's your name?
Daniel Bronner.
Daniel had a chance to make a barehanded play over here. You moved to your left.
I did. I moved to my left. I put my hand out and just bounced right off. I robbed the guy behind me and made somebody behind him a little bit luckier than I was.
So you got an assist for this gentleman with the big smile on his face back here.
Yeah, that's the guy, yeah. Little assist.
How's your hand, okay?
Not so bad. It's not so bad. Yeah.
You mistimed your jump, didn't you? Come on.
I don't know what the problem is. I tried to go left when I'm a righty, and
that's a big problem. All right, well, next time a ball comes this way, you're going to have this green bag, the progressive fan of the game bag. Just put it right in there. Just right in there. Okay? You got it? You sure? No, I'm just kidding. All right, Brownie, back to you.
All right, thanks, Bart. Mark Reynolds has an 0-2 count in a 1-1 game, leading off the 4th inning. He walked in the 2nd and scored. Paulino missing there, goes to 1-2 now. Rocha and Young to follow Reynolds. And the breaking pitch is tapped. He tried to check his swing. Foul ball. Reynolds is one of 4 active players who have hit 40 homers, driven in 100 runs, and stolen 20 bases in the season. He did all that last year. 44 homers, 102 runs batted in, 24 steals from Mark. Product of the University of Virginia. Fastball struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Paulino. Trivia time. AT&T has the question. Who was the last active hitter to lead the league in strikeouts 3 straight years?
Either league, the National League, Major League? Major League.
Roach takes ball 1.
Rob Beer, Dave Kingman, Bobby Bonds.
Reggie Jackson was up there. Adam Dunn, maybe. 1 ball, 1 strike. Those are possibilities.
It was interesting what Q did on that strike three to Reynolds. The previous pitch, he put the glove down on the ground. He wanted that low slider, and he did it again for the high fastball. It's kind of not a change of pace, but a change of noise.
Interesting, because the hitter can hear that, and you might think, well, it's going to be down there if I hear that mitt on the ground.
Yeah, so you just can't buy into whatever the catcher's doing back there. Sometimes they'll lean in and pound their mitt like they want it inside, and they'll sneak back out.
That's ball 4 to LaRoche. That's the third walk to go with a hit batsman. Both pitchers have had to tap dance around those issues. They both walked 3 and hit a batter.
Yeah, Brad Arnsberg said way back in spring training about Paulino, he's more lenient with power pitchers when it comes to walks. It's just a byproduct of the way they pitch. They get a lot of strikeouts and they'll walk a few guys.
Makes sense. Chris Young had the RBI double to left center in the second inning. That's a very good pitch for strike one. Paulino can locate in that spot. He's in really good shape. Young, just 26 years old. Had a rough year last year, hitting .212, driving in 42 runs.
I should call that hitting the spot. That first one right on the edge on the knees. And it comes up and in hard. And the fact that he's willing to come up and in, he hit Upton with that pitch. The guy throws 97 miles an hour. The hitters remember that.
Wind is picked up. It's blowing out to left. Towering fly ball to shallow left field. 3 players going for it. Manzella. 2 outs. That's a big out with Young's power, and now it's Parra coming up. Parra, one of those guys, and we saw it last time he batted. He worked the count to 3-2. He fouled all pitches. He did finally strike out, but he can really make a pitcher work. Paulino has had to work a lot to this point with 78 pitches. Parra rolls one to right field for a hit. Goes to second base, and the D-backs get Chris Snyder to the plate. He drew the intentional walk in the second inning. It's only their second hit.
Yep. And last time he came up, Chris Young was on second base with 2 outs. First base was open. They put him on. They don't have an open base in this situation. I get they're doing a sense. Third base is open. But that strategy really only applies to like Barry Bonds. They used to walk Bonds with the guys on first and second. Buck Showalter walked him with the bases loaded one time.
Yeah, he did, and it worked out. He won the game.
Yeah, the hitter, next hitter, rocket to right field for the third out.
There's strike one to Snyder.
2 outs, runners in scoring position. Diamondbacks bested only by the Cincinnati Reds.
That's a great batting average. 2 outs in those situations.
Excuse me.
Well, that looked pretty good.
Yeah, where's Fox Tracker? Check that baby out.
We will. It's on its way.
Somebody call timeout. We want a booth review. Q's letting him hear about it.
Yeah, he is, and I think he should.
Well, he didn't hit his spot. The Q had to reach for the pitch. But, yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Number 2. Right in there. It's a hard job back there calling balls this hard, so you don't miss a few.
Absolutely. 1-2. Snyder out in front of that pitch. Paulino, he shows more and more wrinkles as he goes along throughout this season with the slider and the curve. Changing speeds a lot better than he did last year. Much better.
And it's just a matter of consistency. There were times last year when he did it, and times he did not, and the same so far this year.
Ooh.
He's really executing a pretty good game plan. here tonight. You know, he doesn't get real good sink on his fastball, great movement. So, you know, even though he's a real hard thrower, he still has to set hitters up, move the ball in and out. Can't rely on just that late movement. And that's why the pitch count is typically high.
83 pitches so far. And this one's hammered to left field. And that's a 3-run jack. Well, Chris Snyder hits number 5 of the season. He was waiting for a fastball, and he ripped it, giving him 16 runs batted in, and it's a 4-1 Diamondback lead.
And that's the fear when you had all the chances like the Astros had and weren't able to put a big inning on the kid making his major league debut. And then this little rally just blows up on you. And trying to go down and away with a fastball, probably the worst fastball in terms of location that he's thrown tonight. Really missing his spot badly.
Big swing of the bat by Snyder. 4th career homer against the Astros, and there's strike 1 to pitcher Valdez. Paulino's due up second in the bottom of the inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Things really not going his way this year. And he's aware that he needs to battle, try to get through it. Some mental strength. He gets a strikeout, and that's number 6. But the 3-run homer by Snyder lifts the D-backs in front 4-1. To left field. AT&T trivia answer is coming our way. The last active hitter to lead the league in strikeouts 3 straight years, to lead the majors.
Nailed it.
Well, Phil Boudreau nailed it.
Oh,
he gave me a note.
Way to go, Boots.
Yeah. But Boots does that. Cesar Valdez has the lead now. Let's see what he does with it as he approaches the last of the 4th inning. He survived 3 walks and a hit batter.
Here's a trivia question. You may have heard this one the other day. Who are the only 2 players in, I believe it's baseball history. If I'm wrong on this, don't hold it against me. Only 2 players to hit a home run in their only World Series at bat. And it may be a game-winning home run in their only World Series at bat.
World Series at bat, a game-winning home run.
You know, in a given World Series, not career.
Oh.
So in other words, in that series, they only had 1 at bat and they had a game-winning home run. 2 guys.
Jeff Plum, one of them. Let's go to Bart. Bart?
Well, fans, join us for Wine and Cheese Night at Minute Maid Park this Saturday as the Astros take on the Padres at 6:05. The special ticket offer includes a pregame event from 4 to 6 in Union Station lobby, including 2 glasses of wine, wine tasting, and a wine seminar that you probably won't remember after all the wine from Texas First Master Sommelier. Proceeds will benefit breast cancer research. Buy tickets at Astros.com tonight. Brownie.
Thank you very much. There's strike one to Paulino. Paulino was hit by a pitch his first time up. And the Astros had the bases loaded, one out, but couldn't score. So that could have been a turning point. But now Valdez has the 4-1 lead. And Paulino chases one upstairs to go to 0-2 in the count.
Big man let that bat fly.
He really did.
The other man, you got Blum. The other man is in the ballpark.
Mark Grace is in the ballpark.
Yeah, but he played for the Cubs. Oh, no, he did play for the Diamondbacks.
1-2.
He's not the answer.
All right, let's see. He's in the ballpark, so he's probably with the Diamondbacks. That may not be right. I don't know.
You do know.
Okay.
Because you're narrowing in on it.
All right. We'll think about it some more.
You can't believe what you just saw. He's hiding behind the post. Give him.
That was his only at bat.
That was his only at bat in that World Series.
Wow, I didn't know that. Bouncer in the hole at short. Drew sets up and throws out Paulino. 2 outs.
Yes. Yeah, that was Steve Sparks dropped that on the counting down on the last homestand.
Okay.
And I looked it up. Give it was only a bat. I remember I can't remember who all was there. Dave Raymond maybe. Because I think the call by Scully was something along the lines of, and we know who we won't see tonight. We're not going to see Kirk Gibson.
Yeah.
And moments later, here comes Gibby gimping up to home plate.
Yeah, he had that bad hamstring. He got off the training table and hit a game-winning homer. Ball went to Michael Bourn. He has walked, stolen a base, and scored. And then he lined out to third with the bases loaded. If he had just found another spot for that line drive, Astros could have taken the lead in the second inning.
Yeah, it was a bit of misfortune there because he hit that ball sharply. But you know what? That's the nature of the game.
Can't whine about it.
Yeah.
The thing is, there are so many games, so many chances. Have you ever heard a team say after the 162 game regular season, boy, if we had just had one more game?
They just didn't get the breaks the entire year.
There are plenty of chances. There's Reynolds on the grass at third. And Bourn fouls it back.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of it. If you run out of time in baseball, it's your fault.
Yeah.
We play 162 of these bad boys. You had your chances.
There's no debate about that. The Arizona club did not do well last year. A lot of good young talent, but needing to get Brandon Webb back this year, it would seem, to do well. Diamondbacks 170, lost 92 last season. They finished 25 games off the first place pace of the Dodgers, and they were in fifth place. 3-2 now to Michael, so A.J. Hinch is hoping that Webb could come back maybe in early June. That's what they're hoping. He's on the 60-day DL. Little chop. Roach is there. And he goes to first for a 1-2-3-4 for Valdez and a 4-1 D-back lead. Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By AT&T and by Gunno Automotive. Inning number 5 underway. The first pitch is upstairs to Kelly Johnson for ball 1. Diamondbacks 4, Astros 1. 3 hits for Arizona, 4 for Houston. Johnson is 0 for 2. Outside the second, Keppinger to Berkman. 1 out for Paulino with Upton up next. Yankees have had a stranglehold on the Orioles for years. They lead at the stadium in New York 4-1 after 8. Yankees took 2 of 3 at Baltimore last week, and they have a .660 winning percentage since '98 against Baltimore. 136-70 is their record against the Orioles.
Orioles just got done beating up on the Red Sox. So.
Yeah, that's true. Upton has bounced out and he's been hit by a pitch.
If not for Baltimore's struggles, the Astros have had the worst record in all of baseball. Baltimore 7-18 coming into play tonight. That's for the Birds.
That is for the Birds. 2 balls, no strikes. And it's now a final 4-1 Yankees. Sabathia going to 4-1, beating Guthrie is 0-4. Job at Chamberlain, save number 1. Wieters and Wynn. Getting playing time now with that injury in the Yankee outfield of Curtis Granderson. 2 balls and a strike. So Sabathia with a 2.74 ERA. And he is now 11-1 lifetime against the O's. Breaking pitch, and he checked his swing on the appeal to Brian Runge. It's 3-1 to Upton. Makes it 3-2. Bud Norris started yesterday. He went 4 2/3 innings in Atlanta. The bullpen was solid with Samson, Fulcino, and Lyon. Sammy Hervasio threw today, and apparently they're not going to disable him. His shoulder's gotten better. He's going to be ready to go tomorrow night. What the manager was saying, Brad Mills. Strike 3 call. Upton is caught looking. 7 strikeouts for Paulino.
Freezes him, comes back to that slider. He threw him a dandy over the plate on 3-1. This time out on that outside edge. That's a nasty 3-2 pitch there. Can't really fault Upton for not swinging at that one. Kind of tip your hat to the pitcher and say, nice pitch. Take my chances next time.
Steven Drew rips a fastball into center field. He was 0 for 2, but now he's aboard with 2 outs for Mark Reynolds. He turned that pitch around. Hit number 4 for Arizona.
He sure did. He's talking about a quick bat. Boom, boom.
And Stevens aboard. And Reynolds has walked and struck out in his first 2 trips. Matt Williams has been working with the infielders. He was a smooth fielding third baseman. And a very good power hitter. He's on this coaching staff for Diamondbacks. He's been working with Reynolds and Kelly Johnson.
Got an ownership stake in this club too, doesn't he?
He does. He does. Yeah.
The rare owner first base coach combo.
Strike 1. Yeah, I don't remember that combo before.
You know, and it's funny because players sometimes are wary of members of the coaching staff. Hey, this guy's a pipeline to the owner. Well,
yeah.
When the coach is one of the owners, and says, right, it's out front for you. Nothing secret about it.
4 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, if the owner asks you to do something, it's probably a good idea to do it. And if he's an owner and a coach, it's a really good idea to do it. How about some extra work today? Oh, sure. Paulino has a strong 5th inning. It's no runs a hit and a man stranded. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Keppinger, Lee, and Berkman do up 4-1 Arizona. What's going on around the majors? Major League Baseball may seize the Rangers to finalize their sale. Interesting. Red Sox hero Dave Roberts being treated for lymphoma. Didn't know that. And John Smoltz will attempt to qualify for the U.S. Open. Jimmy Rollins will be out 3 to 4 more weeks with a calf injury.
Smoltz is a +2. He didn't really play.
Jeff Keppinger, diving play by Mark Reynolds. And that cuts off a hit. Ball was headed for left field. Keppinger 0 for 3 now, thanks to Reynolds diving to his left. Yeah, and Keppinger, it's interesting. He's not a guy who really tries to bunt for base hit, but Reynolds was playing way in. Just quick reaction, diving to his left and gobble that one up. Yeah, apparently Major League Baseball thinking of invoking the in the best interest of baseball rule to push that deal along. That may lead to a lawsuit, though, I would guess. Could. Predators. Yeah. Carlos Lee takes ball 1. He had an RBI double in the first. Well, it's been a long-standing effort to sell the club. And Major League Baseball had to take over the Rangers' payroll last year. It's been a mess as far as the operation of the Rangers is concerned. 1 ball, 1 strike. And in fact, there were stories that the Rangers' top draft choice, Matthew Kirk of Houston, who did not sign and went to TCU, was going to be signed. And Nolan Ryan, according to one story, had said they were going to sign him for $6 million. Then when Major League Baseball took over the club, they dropped the offer to $4 million, and he didn't sign. Is that what first-round guys are getting nowadays? It depends on the length, and not for 1 year, but they're probably a multi-year deal, probably. Up the middle, and on 1 hop, it's fielded by Johnson. He gets Lee, 2 outs now. But Strasburg got what, 20-some-odd million for several years, I think. Go back to high school. Yeah. Probably $3,000 now. And there's the old Ufer line that we were talking about the other night. What was his signing bonus? He'd say it was 300, something like that. He said, well, first I balked, but then we came up with the money. Yeah, except for my dad to scrap that cash together. Lance Berkman walked and hit a fly ball to center. And his ball went. So now Valdez is 1 out away from qualifying for his first major league win with his 4-1 lead. And he's at 90 pitches for the night.
Well, the Astros went down 1-2-3 in the 4th. They've done that more than any other major league team. There's too many easy innings. Jeopardy of another one here. And it's the 2, 3, 4 hitters that he's working with too. The Astros have done that 89 times. Toronto 88 and the Rangers 78. It's interesting though. I just checked it. Toronto was like 5th in the American League in runs scored.
Really?
So, yeah.
2 balls and a strike. It's also interesting that there's only 1 National League club among the top 3. Strike to Berkman, and it's 2-2 on that changeup from Valdez. Is that upside down? Well, he can see it.
HN is here.
It's just hanging there for him alone to see. Right side up. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That stands for Houston Nation.
Hey, yeah, he can see it fine.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
The Cougar alums are cringing.
Bourn rips one, and it's into the right field corner. It kicks out, and that might mean a single. Now it gets by Upton, and he'll trot in with a double. Number 3 of the year for Lance. Nice line drive hit up the line. We'll get Feliz to the plate.
Lance talking about his timing being a little bit off. It felt like it was starting to come, and that was a real nice stroke there. Loaded on that fastball, 2 out. RBI opportunity for Feliz here.
Let's see now. Well, that's it. Well, See you tomorrow. Feliz has grounded into a double play and singled to left center. This bouncer goes to Reynolds. And he throws him out. And it's no runs a hit. And the runner stranded through 5-4-1 Arizona. Michael Bourn on his way, and he beats the tag just so closely. At second base for his steal, the Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Inning number 6. Running on another Cougar.
Yeah.
It looked like they got him in that replay.
Really close. LaRoche takes ball 1. He struck out looking. He walked and scored. Paulino throws that in for a strike. Paulino was struck out 8. His career high is 9 against Detroit last June 27th. He's at 101 pitches. It's 2-1 with Young and Parra to follow LaRoche in the Arizona 6th. Good movement there and a nice change of speeds. Takes the count to 2-2 for Felipe Paulino. 26 years old from the Dominican Republic. Signed by Andres Reiner and Omar Lopez from the Venezuelan Academy. Foul ball. Now this weekend the Astros are going to go to the Dominican Republic. I think Allison Footer's going along for the Astros website as the senior director of media, and she's going along with several of the Astros top brass to check out that Dominican Academy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. St. Louis 6, Philadelphia 3. Bottom of the 9th inning in Philly. Brian Franklin's in there trying to close it out. High. Headed for right center field. Michael Bourn way back and leaping, and Michael Bourn robs it at the wall.
He just makes one great play after another. It's getting to be old hat.
Tremendous play by Bourn on LaRoche. Rattling that wall in right center field in the Astros bullpen. Chris Young had the RBI double to left center in the second. Then he popped short. Young takes ball 1. Mets and Cincinnati are tied 2-2 in the bottom of the ninth at Cincinnati. It's 1-1. Drew Stubbs hit his second home run for the Reds. Boston leads the Angels 11-4 after 6 in Boston. Another one of those. 2-1. Okay, that's looking pretty good on Fox Tracks.
Hunter's hearing it from the Astros bench right now.
Good justification. There's 2 of those that have caught an awful lot of the strike zone for Paulino.
Well, from the dugout, you can't see in and out. You can see up and down pretty well.
3-1. And a strike makes it 3-2. Young didn't want to go.
Well, geared for a fastball and tried to check at the last minute. Good tight slider there. And that's the other thing Paulino's done well tonight. He's been able to throw breaking pitches and fastball counts.
Line drive right center field. Corey Sullivan over. And there's a big turn. He fires into second. Keppinger cuts it off on a single by Young. Well played by Sullivan.
Not a bad pitch. 3-2 fastball down and away, and Young just does a nice job of riding it the other way and making no assumptions. Not settling for the single. Going to force the action, anticipating any kind of a little misplay in the outfield. And nonchalance from the outfielder, and he was off for second base. Good hustle by Young and good play by Sullivan.
Parra's the batter. He's 1 for 2. Parra takes ball 1. With Snyder's on deck, his 3-run homer has provided the difference in this game.
Base runners that run hard all the time sometimes can force outfielders into errors because you're just worried about the guy might try to take an extra base, and maybe you look up to find him and misplay a hop.
Down to first base. Young diving back.
Lance is going to have to ice his right shoulder down tonight. All his reaches he's had to make on these pickoff throws.
Esmerling Vasquez is warming up in the bullpen for Arizona. It's 2-0 to Parra. Some work as well in the Astros bullpen. Now Brad Arnsberg is coming out. 115 pitches. That's a high for Paulino this season.
Bosio heating it up. Arnsberg buying a little time. Felipe really flew open on that last pitch. So I think Arnsberg's out there saying, look, you've worked awfully hard tonight. It's a hot night. Let's just kind of try to overthrow. Trust your legs here. This is where the workouts, all the running pays off. You really need your legs at this stage of the game.
Gives him a little break. Chance to refocus. He'll be pitching with a 2-0 count to Parra. Vasquez there. That's there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Parra. Dustin Pedroia has belted his 7th homer for Boston. Red Sox are blowing out the Angels 14-4 in the bottom of the 6th. Gun to first base.
You just read Lance's body language.
And it's fouled away. It's 2-2. Young has a pretty good sized lead despite the throws over. Minnesota is whacking Detroit 10-3, bottom of the 6th inning. Michael Kadire hit his 4th long ball.
Tigers playing good ball. They've won 5 in a row.
Yeah. They're 16-10 now. Minnesota's 16-9.
Too bad the interleague didn't work out for us to go to Minnesota this year. They were last year.
Yeah.
And they're still in the dome. It'd be nice to go to that new ballpark.
It looks great. Hit to center field. Michael Bourn retreats. And then Young goes back to tag. Bourn has it. Young is tagging. Headed for second. Here's the throw in, but offline. And Young moves up on a long out number 2 by Parra.
I don't know if Michael forgot the out situation, but kind of back on his heels as he caught that ball, not anticipating a tag in advance by Young. Normally he'd try to get behind that ball, have a little momentum coming forward. So he got caught unaware there. And that's when communication, too, is important for somebody from that infield or one of his fellow mates in the outfield yelling at him, letting him know that the base runner's tagging.
Snyder receives the intentional walk for the second time tonight to bring up the pitcher spot. Cesar Valdez on deck, but we might see a pinch hitter. And we'll be going to Bardenas after the walk. The Diamondbacks, with Snyder going deep, have hit 10 homers in the last 6 games. And they've now scored 147 runs on homers. That's second in the majors. And Valdez is being called back. Arizona will send up a pinch hitter, Tony Abreu, and we'll go to Bardenas.
Thanks, Bill. Astros baseball is always more fun with a group. Bring your team, church group, or family to Minute Maid Park for your next outing. It only takes 20 or more people to enjoy discount pricing on tickets. Join the millions of fans who have experienced the fun and excitement of Astros baseball. For more information, call 1-800-ASTROS-2 tonight and ask about fundraising opportunities. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Tony Abreu, an infielder who started yesterday and went 2 for 5 at Chicago. As the starting pitcher, Cesar Valdez, gets handshakes. He is qualified for his first major league win. Rodrigo Lopez, another one of the starters, with a pat on the back for him. And Abreu is the pinch hitter. He is 2 for 11 as a pinch hitter this year. Had a big game yesterday with a couple of doubles and 5 at-bats against the Cubs. He scored a run. He has 8 hits in his last 22 at-bats. Hits this one toward Corey Sullivan in right center. And a nice job by Paulino here in the 6th inning with no runs for Arizona. 1 hit, 2 men stranded, 4-1 Arizona. We're set for the bottom of the 6th inning and for a call to the bullpen. It's brought to you by Verizon Wireless, and it brings in the right-hander, Esmerling Vasquez. And Cesar Valdez, as you see the bullpen picture, 4-7, 6 saves of 13, a 7.02 ERA. Now his his fate, as far as his first major league win, is in the hands of that bullpen.
Yeah, it's been a shaky proposition to say the least for the Diamondbacks. As you look at those numbers, a bullpen ERA of 7.02. Had a tough time closing out games. So Vasquez comes in behind Valdez. But he's only worked 5 times, so it's hard to point the finger at him, and his ERA is 4.05. Far better than most of the guys out there in that Diamondback pen. I mean, most of them, it's a 6, the 7, there's an 8, there's a 9. It's early, and a couple bad outings can really inflate that ERA, but nonetheless, it's pretty ugly so far.
He throws strike 1 to Corey Sullivan, who got an infield hit off the pitcher. Valdez, his first time up after striking out. Esmeralda Vasquez, 26 years old. He's from the Dominican. Signed as a free agent in 03. And he changes speeds, and the count goes to 1-1. Last year he was in 53 games for Arizona with 3 wins, 3 losses, and a 4.42 ERA. Fastball. 1-2.
Nice loose arm action. All really exploding out of his hand there, 94 miles an hour.
He was the 07 Arizona minor league pitcher of the year. So they've had the 07 and the 08 minor league pitchers of the year in this game. Cesar Valdez in 5 innings, allowing 5 hits, 1 run. Walked 3, fanned 2, and hit a batter.
Wow, I like that heater.
Wow. Strikeout. And he notched it up. The earlier one at 94, that one at 96.
Showing confidence in his changeup and in that good heater. And the advantage of having a name like Esmerling is you can Google Esmerling and he's the only guy that comes up.
Well, last Wednesday at Colorado, he struck out 4 in 2 2/3 innings. Tommy Manzella has walked and struck out. It's ball 1.
Power sinking 96. Let's see what his game plan is for a right-handed hitter. See if he breaks out a slider or a curveball. If he continues to use that changeup as a secondary pitch. Most do not.
1-1 to Manzella with Quintero on deck. Vasquez was called up from AAA Reno on April 19th. One and 2. The Diamondbacks do not have a left-hander on their staff.
How about that?
Crazy. There's the Astros lefty reliever, Tim Burdack.
I smell a lawsuit coming. The problem is with left-handers.
Maybe you should try out. 1-2 the count.
That one went up on the board here at 98 miles an hour. So I think, you know, you get into protect mode with 2 strikes, but if you're Tommy Manzella, you've got to be willing to cheat a little bit.
Bounces one, foul.
I just think Tommy doesn't quite have the bat speed to wait, and then still pull the trigger on that fastball. So I think even though it's 1-2, and normally the thinking is, you know, just 2 strikes, fight it off. I think he's got a sit fastball here, and if he's able to drop a breaking pitch into the strike zone and you can't react to it, then you just kind of take your poison.
Bounce to the right side. Good play to his left, and there's a throw from Johnson. 2 outs. He had to travel a long way to get to that.
And he did throw his changeup. Like I mentioned, most right-handed pitchers, you know, pitchers don't like to throw their changeup to same side hitters to try to make that pitch fade down and away, usually. And obviously, a right-handed pitcher can't do that to a right-handed hitter. It's going to kind of fade back in towards the hitter.
Kelly Johnson made that play. Now it's Quintero. He's 1 for 2. Jeff Blum on deck. Pitcher spot due up. There's ball 1. And Burdack in the bullpen.
That reminds me a little bit of former Diamondback Juan Cruz.
Yeah.
Wiry guy that really threw hard.
Lined and caught by LaRoche at first. In the 6th inning, the Astros go down in order. Arizona leads it 4-1. Sports Houston is brought to you by Whataburger, by Clear Wireless, by Fred Loya Insurance, and by Chevy. It's 4-1 Arizona. And we're going to the bottom of the inning. Well, before we go to the top of the inning, let's go to Kevin.
All right, Brownie, real quick, a reminder coming up after the game. It's Astros Live. We'll hear from Brad Mills, head to the clubhouse, all of that, and more coming up immediately following the game. Dave Raymond, we don't speak during the game. We try to keep it fresh for the post-game show. We'll be with you for the post-game show, guys. All right,
will you guys be sitting any closer together?
Yeah,
than that
we will. You know, the VH1 does the behind the music. This is behind the pregame show. I think there's a rift going on right now. We'll hopefully mend things before the post-game show.
You're like Simon and Garfunkel.
We'll be speaking by then, I can promise you.
Raymond's down there playing Scrabble on his computer.
He's trying to look smart.
The game,
He squints at the computer a lot. You know, he went to Stanford, so everybody thinks he's smart. I think he's really just playing solitaire. I love the fact that he can't defend himself.
2 balls, no strikes for Tim Burdack, just in the game with a 1-0 record, a 3.72 ERA. He's the Astros bullpen lefty, making his 13th appearance to take over the club lead.
He got pinched a little bit too on that last line.
2-1. Felipe Paulino in 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs. He walked 4, struck out 8, hit a batter to 116 pitches.
Pitched well.
He really did. Fly ball. Carlos Lee back in left field. 1 out, and Johnson's 0 for 4. Justin Upton next. He's 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch.
I don't subscribe to the theory that the pitcher just threw 1 bad pitch all night. But there's only 1 pitch that he really wants back. That home run was about Snyder. He missed badly. He'd like a mulligan on that one. We might have a different ball game.
Upton grounded out. He was hit by a pitch and then struck out looking. Burdack with ball 1. Tim pitched Friday night in Atlanta, 2/3 of an inning. Gave up no hits, no runs. Arizona has 8 come from behind wins. That's tied for second in the majors. And did trail 1-0 after 1. So technically, if they win this game, that would be another come from behind win. 2-0. Breaking pitch makes it a 2-ball, 1 strike count for Tim Burdack. Tim, 36 years old. He pitched 76 times last year, ranking 10th in appearances in the National League. 2-2. He struck out 58 in 61 innings last season. He was a Rice Owl, and there's the former U of H Cougars in this game. Decidedly local college flavor to this series. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With Burdack and Berkman, Rice, and then Houston with Bourn and Snyder, and then Chris Young, born in Houston, Bel Air High School. Kelly Johnson from Austin. Strike 3. 2 outs.
Yeah, Texas second only to California in the number of major leaguers from that given state. A little backdoor slider there, finishes off Upton. Second time he's punched out tonight. He's actually struck out more than Mark Reynolds so far this year.
Stephen Drew got a hit to center field in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. Boston's piling on to the Angels 16-4 in the 7th now. It's ball 1. Now Burdack has done a fabulous job against left-handed hitters these last 3 years. It's hard to beat his numbers against the southpaw hitters. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefty hitters are hitting 162 against him since 07. And that's the lowest among all major league pitchers. They're just 2 for 17 off him this year. 2 balls and a strike with Mark Reynolds on deck.
Stephen Drew has struggled against southpaw so far this year, hitting just 143. This Diamondback club with a lot of left-handed options, the type of team you like to have a couple of left-handed bullets out in your bullpen. It would be more important for the teams in their division. You see a club so many times.
Bo Porter is the third base coach for Arizona. He was talking about that NL East. You need lefty relievers in that division. And there's a 2-out walk for Drew, especially against clubs like the Phillies. Now Bo was talking about, he said, well, you've got, Utley and Howard, and then you've got switch hitters, Rollins and Victorino. You like to turn them around and make them bat right in that lineup. So it's really nice to have lefties when facing the Phillies. Reynolds is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Arizona leading 4-1.
Because it didn't do him the Mets didn't do him much good. They had a really good lefty on the mound last night, Santana, and they just lit him up.
True. Doesn't always work. 20,370 is the paid attendance for this first game of the homestand. And if you have been unable to make it out for a while, you have an excellent chance to be here all week. 6 more games remaining each of the next 6 games in 6 days on this homestand. They're all night games until Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow night it's Roy Oswald and Ian Kennedy at 7:05. Wednesday night the matchup is Brett Myers and Rodrigo Lopez at 7:05. Thursday night Wandy Rodriguez and Dan Herron square off against each other at 7:05. And then the Padres, who are high flying right now in the NL West, will be here over the weekend.
Tim working hard at keeping Stephen Drew over the lefty on the mound. I don't think Drew's going anywhere. They want Mark Reynolds to get his swings. His advantage swings towards the Diamondbacks here with that walk of Stephen Drew. Now the dangerous right-handed power hitter comes up. If he falls behind in the count 1 and 2, then maybe Drew takes off. But until that point, I think he's going to stay put and let Reynolds swing the bat.
1-1. Make it 2-1 to Mark Reynolds. The Mets and Cincinnati are tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 10th now in Cincinnati. Pedro Feliciano in the game pitching for the Mets. Looped over shortstop into left center field. There's Drew headed for third base as Carlos Lee throws into second on a single by Reynolds. And LaRoche is coming up now with the corners occupied and 2 outs.
Down off the end of the bat, but Reynolds strong enough to pull it into that alley in left center. Drew easily to third. Throw appropriately goes into second base.
That's hit number 6 for Arizona. LaRoche is 0 for 2 with a walk. He was robbed at the right center field wall by Michael Bourn with a leaping catch.
Look at those numbers against lefties.
That's crazy. 400 with 3 homers. Ball 1 to Adam. Brother Andy also off to a nice start with Pittsburgh, one of Adam's former clubs. He had a big game here recently. 2 balls, no strikes. Adam is 30 years old now. Joined this club as a free agent in the offseason. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Mark Reynolds played some first base last year. That was kind of a revolving door for Arizona. So with Adam moving in, that should stop that kind of revolution there at first base. He should be able to hold down that position if he's healthy and provide some sock in the lineup. And this time he takes a walk to load the bases for Chris Young.
That's going to do it for Tim. Having a hard time finding the strike zone. 23 pitches, 15 out of the zone. walking two of the left-handed batters he faced. Drew and now LaRoche. So with the righty coming up, Mills is going to make that move to the pen.
Sammy Gervasio is coming in from that bullpen. Entering this game with 2 outs and the bases loaded with the score Arizona 4, Houston 1. Back in a moment. Tonight's Energy Insight is brought to you by Centerpoint Energy, and it features my partner, Jim DeShays.
Well, Brownie, certain respect, same old Felipe Paulino. The big inning has been a big problem for him. He pitched well tonight, but that 3-run blast by Chris Snyder, a real difference maker in this game. 5th time he's allowed 3 or more runs in an inning this year. And with runners in scoring position, the D-backs 1 out of 4. The Astros had a lot of traffic early against Valdez, making his major league debut. Could not cash in. Scored just the 1 run off of them. And now they're up against it, down 4-1. They need Gervasio to get Chris Young here and keep this game close.
And a real test for Sammy after coming out of the game Saturday in Atlanta with an injury to his shoulder. He did not retire a batter, gave up 1 hit and walked 2, and was tagged with 3 runs in that 10-1 loss. But then after a day of rest, he threw and decided it was much improved. And now he comes into this jam. Young is 2 for 3 with an RBI. He looks at strike 1. So it seemed that Gervasio was probably going to be headed to the disabled list, but lo and behold, he's pitching again. He went on the DL back on the 7th of April with a right posterior shoulder strain. 1-1, and then spent his time on the DL and worked his way back and returned on April 27th here in the Cincinnati series.
He has one of the most peculiar deliveries you're ever going to see. When he really opens up.
He gets a swing there and a 1-2 count to Young.
Pitched well for the Astros last year. Had a great spring training. And got hurt. His second appearance out this year against the Giants, that opening series.
Yeah, he made a throwing error to third base, and that's how he hurt his shoulder. Hit to center field, and Michael Bourn will not be able to prevent a hit. 1-run home. Throw to the plate, and not in time. Quintero thought he had the tag on Reynolds, but Reynolds scored to make it 6-1. It's a 2-run single for Young. Drew scored, and then Reynolds came in standing up and was almost out.
And a good strong throw by Michael Bourn. Lance Berkman wisely lets it go through. He knew they had a shot at Reynolds at home plate. How he's not getting down, I have no idea. And Stephen Drew's telling him down, 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 and Reynolds kind of nonchalants it in. And the question is, the cue get him on the backside before he got home plate. I can't really tell there when or if the tag was applied.
It was close.
I don't think Hunter Weddlestad is arguing that he missed the tag. I think he's arguing that Reynolds had the play. That's a tough call for an umpire because the tag is taking place up here and the foot's down there.
Ooh.
That shot looked like they got him.
Yes, it did. But either way, it's a 2-run single. Now here's Parra. Parra's 1 for 3 with a 6-1 score now for Arizona. Bounce to second, a 2-hopper to Keppinger. Over to Berkman. And Arizona comes up with 2 on 2 hits, stranding 2 in the 7th inning to lead 6-1. Bottom of the 7th inning is coming, and this video summary is brought to you by BBVA. Built for success, showing you some of the big hits in this game. Carlos Lee made it 1-0 Houston with an opposite field double right on the right field line, scoring Michael Bourn. And then Chris Young tied the game with an RBI double in the 2nd inning, scoring Mark Reynolds. The tie was broken by a 3-run homer by Chris Snyder of Houston. That made it 4-1 Arizona. And then 2 more coming across on Young's 2-run single. Young with 3 hits and 3 runs batted in his return to Houston. And he has hit more than 400 in his career at Minute Maid Park. Now it's Kazuo Matsui pinch hitting for the pitcher, Sammy Gervasio, as the bottom of the 7th gets underway for Esmeralda Vasquez. Brian Moeller in the bullpen. And it's strike 1. Matsui's been playing quite a bit recently and been heating it up a little bit. He's hitting 240 at bats. 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Down 150 for a while. A pop foul brings Reynolds over. And that's out number 1. Vasquez has retired 4 in a row.
Yeah, you know things are going bad for the home team when you say the phrase. He's been heating it up lately. He's up to 200.
Yeah.
And boy, that's a lot of these Astro hitters.
Well, he was hitting 125 and he's gone 4 for 8 before that at bat. Now Michael Bourn 0 for 2 with a walk, steal, a run scored. Reynolds is camped on the grass at third. Vasquez throws a very good strike 1. Tim Burdack in 2/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, had 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Sammy Gervasio 1/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts.
2 big runs for the Diamondbacks there with the struggles they've had with their bullpen. That extra breathing room really comes in handy.
Yes, it does with that bullpen with a 7.02 ERA. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chad Qualls, the closer, the former Astro, has 5 saves and 7 opportunities. And another former Astro, Juan Gutierrez, Usually is the 8th inning setup man. Keppinger's on deck here in the 7th. Bourn flicks it foul.
Well, according to the scoreboard, that fastball was 100 miles an hour.
Ooh. Don't often see that. In the last inning, it was 94. He was 96. Getting faster now. 2-2. Colorado and San Diego are underway. No score after 1 with Ubaldo Jimenez pitching for the Rockies in San Diego.
Pretty good chance it's going to be no score after 9.
Deep drive to left field. That is off the wall. Bourn heads for second. Parra with the throw. Stand-up double for Michael Bourn, his 7th. He hit that a long way to left.
Walked first time up, hit a BB his second time up with the bases loaded. Got just hit into bad luck, and that at bat hit that line drive to the third baseman Reynolds. So he's having a nice night at the plate. Even Michael off that wall, you have to make sure you turn on the jets.
Yeah, he hit it hard. 7 doubles ties Keppinger for the club lead. Now Keppinger tries to keep this inning working. He's grounded out all 3 times to the left side of the infield.
It's the challenge for the Astro hitters right now. When you're going through a funk like this, you get into the late stages of the game, you're down 5. It's very difficult to believe. You can say it all you want. Yeah, we never gave up, but it's hard to believe you're going to come back in a game like this. But you have to kind of shake that negative vibe. Continue to battle.
Keppinger looks at ball 1.
And when I say battle, it just means compete in each at bat. Now that same good approach. Make sure you get a strike. Take what the pitcher gives you.
It's 1-1. The Cardinals beat the Phillies in Philadelphia 6-3. Jaime Garcia, rookie left-hander, winning it. He's 3-1 with a 1.12 ERA now. Not bad for a 5th starter.
It's Bob Gibson, 1-1-2.
Yeah, it is. Time was called, and fans are calling balk. The time has been called, and Keppinger gets back in with a 1-1 on Esmeralda Vasquez. Joe Blanton returned to the Phillies rotation. He had been on the disabled list to start the season. He was the loser tonight. In tight. 2 balls, 1 strike. Toronto beat Cleveland 5-1 at Cleveland. Brett Cecil winning his 2nd, beating Mitch Talbot.
Cecil took a perfect game into the 7th inning in that affair.
John Buck hit his 5th home run. Almost hit him again. 3-1. Keppinger, 353 with men in scoring position when this game started. Bourn was at second. He grounded to short on that first opportunity with men in scoring position. Then he had the bases loaded in the second, made the final out there. So this is the 3rd at bat of the night with men in scoring position for him.
Vasquez finally able to make the adjustment after missing badly inside. Kept that front shoulder closed and finish off that pitch.
Aaron Heilman is getting loose. Keppinger to right field. Upton with the catch and the throw, and Bourn is going to third, and the throw's offline. 2 outs. And it's Carlos Lee. Throw was strong, but offline. Lee doubled in a run in the 1st inning after Bourn had stolen 2nd, and then hit a fly ball to right and a grounder to the right side. So everything's been to the right of second base so far tonight for Carlos. Berkman's on deck. High to left field. Parra calling for the third out. No runs ahead. A runner left at third base. 6-1 Diamondbacks. Jaguars showing you Michael Bourn on a deep drive to right center by Adam LaRoche in the 6th inning. Looked like extra bases, but Bourn went airborne, and he robbed him at the wall.
He has been one complete player this year, boy, from day one, offensively and defensively. There's Matsui. He's in the game at second base now. Ryan Mueller takes over on the bump. For the 8th time, no wins, no losses. A 3.09 ERA for Ryan, 11 2/3. Struck out 4, walked a couple. They're getting 273 against him.
Ryan pitched on Saturday in Atlanta, 2 innings, giving up 1 run. Rusty Riles in the on-deck circle, a pinch hit for the Arizona pitcher. Vasquez, who's due up after Chris Snyder bats. Snyder ripped the 3-run homer in the 4th as a pair of intentional walks. Right, going to Chris. Off the end of the bat, Michael Bourn in right center, and one Houston Cougar gets another. Now Rusty Ryle pinch hits for Esmerling Vasquez, who in 2 innings had 1 hit, no runs, had no walks, and 1 strikeout. Ryle is 2 for 8 as a pinch hitter this season. Rusty, 27 years old, from Ponca City, Oklahoma. Strike 1 to him. Last year he had 59 at bats with the D-backs. He's an Oklahoma Stater. Up the middle and into center field, a pinch single for Rusty Ryle.
It's the kind of approach you like to see coming off the bench. Good short stroke.
It's hit number 8 for the D-backs. Kelly Johnson is 0 for 4.
Do you know the only TV show that doesn't play music when it's opening, when it comes on the air?
Let's see. 24.
No. But it's interesting that you say that. Because time is part of the equation here.
60 minutes.
Correct.
Hey.
Let's do a little tick, 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 tick. Everybody else has got music.
That's right. Strike one. Yeah, 24 does have a little music. You're right. How long has 60 Minutes been on the air? About 30 years?
1 hour. I don't know. It's been how long has Andy Rooney been alive?
Oh, about 90 years. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's what you get for asking a question. Johnson with that shoulder close, hits one back up the middle off Moeller, and it trickles out between Matsui and Manzella into center field for a seeing eye hit for Johnson. That one eluded 3 Astros players, and Johnson's now 1 for 5.
Just good approaches by the Diamondback hitters in this inning. You got Brian Moeller out there, finesse guys, not going to overpower you. You don't have to cheat on the fastball, and he's got good off-speed stuff. So you want to think, other way up the middle, and everybody hitting the ball to the middle of the diamond here.
It's 9 hits now for Arizona, and Upton is the batter. He's 0 for 3. He's hit by a pitch.
1968, 60 Minutes on the air.
Quick.
What a run.
Could really come up with these answers in a hurry.
I was our crack research department down in the truck.
Did you call your computer Boots? Here's ball 1. We don't nickname our computers.
No Hal up here.
Colorado got 2 in the top of the second at San Diego for Ubaldo Jimenez. Good luck, Padres.
Yeah, he took that to the bank.
Padres are 16-9. Liner into right center. That'll make it 7-1. RBI single Upton. And Johnson stopped at second on that. Matt Williams seems to be pleased with that swing of the bat.
Jack Howell spent a little time with the Houston Astros as the hitting coach for the Diamondbacks, and Jack has to be thrilled with the approach the hitters are taking here in this inning. Again, right back through the middle of the diamond.
Stephen Drew singled in the 5th. He walked and scored in the 7th. The Diamondbacks have been averaging almost 6 runs per game. 5.8 coming into this one. Here's strike 1. Quite a collection of hitters. Many of them young hitters.
Yeah, it does seem they're a little short in the pitching department. What a difference Brandon Webb would make. It's interesting. One guy out can change the complexion, because if you got a 1-2 punch of Webb and Herron, it's awfully good.
It is good. 0-2. Arizona had a 13-run inning against Pittsburgh this year.
When you look at that division and this lineup, I like this lineup better than the Padres, the Giants. Dodgers have a good one.
They do.
But I'd stack this one up with the Rockies and the Dodgers. A little light on pitching.
There's a block by Quintero. 1-2. Well, maybe there's going to be a trade somewhere down the line to try to shore that up.
Yeah, I don't know about their farm system. I don't know if they have any phenoms. Some pitcher they think they could call up and be a difference maker.
They beat Colorado a few days ago, 12-11 in 10 innings. One team led by 6 runs in that game. The other one led by 5. And their starter Chris Benson went 2. That's when he came out with an injury. And yet Arizona pieced it together and won a slugfest. 1-2 to Drew. They beat the Cubs 13-5 in the opener of that 4-game series. 2-2, so they can really put up runs in bunches. They've scored with 7 tonight, 151 runs already this year. Moeller with the one hopper. Goes to Berkman. Runners moving up on out number 2. And it's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds singled in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3 with a walk and has scored twice.
Reds just beat the Mets in the 11th, 3-2 final from Cincinnati. Reds are now 500 club, 13-13. Stubbs and Nix went deep. So that's probably a game winner by Nix in the bottom of the 11th, I'm guessing.
Well, they're cooling off the Mets a little bit. That Mets team had really been playing well. Losing that one last night you talked about. There's strike 1. But the Reds got some things going here. Some of their hitters got hot. They had several guys slumping when they came to town. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The Astros lately have been a pretty good tonic. The Reds had dropped 6 in a row before coming to town. They swept the Astros, and then the Braves had lost 9 in a row before that series in Atlanta. And the Astros got swept there, of course.
Grounded and diving. Feliz can't hold it as a run scores to make it 8-1. Ball rolled out of his glove. It's an RBI single for Reynolds, giving him his 24th run batted in. Upped into 3rd.
All singles. The line just keeps moving here for the Diamondbacks. Great effort by Feliz. Just can't hang on.
That's 11 hits now. LaRoche is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and a run scored. No one crowds him for ball 1.
That pinch hit game-winning home run by Lance Nixon that game. That's quite a thrill.
2 balls, no strikes. See the Reds call up their young outfielder Chris Heisey for Chris Dickerson, who's on the disabled list. Ripped to right. That jumps over the head of Sullivan and into the wall, and then ricochets out, and the throw comes back in as a run scores. Looked like he was going to make it out, but must have had some topspin. LaRoche has to settle for an RBI double.
Yeah, he knocked the daylights out of this one. He just missed earlier with that breaking pitch that Michael Bourn was able to make the play on at the wall. This time he just pings it off the right field fence.
9-1 now. RBI number 18 for Adam. That's his 8th double. And a dozen hits. Young is 3 for 4. He's driven in 3.
A situation here where Brad Mills wants to save some arms in his bullpen to fight another day. So Brian Mueller out there is taking some lumps.
Strike to Chris Young. He's the 8th Diamondback to bat here in the 8th inning. In 07, Young hit 32 homers and stole 27 bases. No balls, 2 strikes. Last year he struck out 133 times and 433 at bats. Very rough season for Chris a year ago. He'd been drafted by the White Sox. 1-2. Arizona got him in a trade in 05 for Javier Vasquez.
Just a wee bit low.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Nick Massett was the winner for the Reds in that 11-inning game over the Mets, with Acosta taking the loss. It's 3-2. Parra on deck. Boston has dumped the Angels 17-8. Clay Buchholz winning. He's 3-2. Beating Joe Saunders, who slips to 1-5 with an ERA over 7. Strikeout looking, and that ends the 8th inning. 8 men parade to the plate for the D-backs. 3 of them score on 5 hits with 2 men left. It's now 9-1.
Back to Minute Maid Park. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Arizona leading it 9-1 now. Traveling this season? No worries. You can take the Astros with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Aaron Heilman on the mound for Arizona. Berkman, Feliz, and Sullivan due up for Houston. Heilman in 11 games has an 0-1 record. His ERA is 5.59.
He's walked 5 in 9 2/3 innings and allowed a couple of home runs. He's a sinker slider guy.
Facing Lance Berkman, who has a double and a walk in 3 trips. All back, strike 1. We were talking about Lance's very good play in the bunt yesterday in Atlanta that was popped up by Derek Lowe. Runners at first and second, nobody out. He let the ball bounce, and then he threw to second for the force play and got a rundown on the runner between second and third for a double play. And asked Brad Mills about that. Did they work on that in spring training? He said no, that was all Lance. Very smart play. He is 4 for 6 against Aaron Heilman. He was a first-round pick from Notre Dame. He bounces that one.
Yeah, with the Mets. That's where he came to the big league in New York back in 2003. Was there through 2008 before moving on to the Cubs last year. And he was 4-4 with a 4.11 earned run average in 70 ball games.
Arizona parted with 2 prospects to get him. And he gets a strikeout on Berkman, out number 1 here in the home 8th inning. Strikeout number 4 for Arizona pitchers.
Changeup or a split finger pitch. Pushes Lance out in front.
Heilman's last outing was April 30th at Chicago. Pedro Feliz is 1 for 3. Heilman delivers strike 1. Heilman came in with the bases loaded on Friday against the Cubs and got a strikeout and a walk and a ground out. 1-1. He ranks first among all relievers since 2005 in innings pitched. 397 innings. There's
guys haven't lost their enthusiasm.
Nope. Full of energy. Full of gusto. 1-2. In the air to left field, Parham moving over. 2 outs. Jake Peavy and the White Sox beat Kansas City 5-1. That was Peavy's first win, beating Gil Madden. Alexi Ramirez homered for the Sox, his second of the year. Corey Sullivan's 1 for 3 in this game. Manzella on deck. In tight for ball 1. Line past the shortstop into left field. Corey, a 2 for 4 night. In his third start of the year.
Yeah, if you're looking for positives in this 9-1 ball game, you might be able to start with Corey Sullivan getting a chance to get a start and getting some at-bats. Getting a couple of knocks. One off the pitcher, and now this solid line drive to left.
Hit number 7 for the Astros. Tommy Manziel is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's strike 1. Texas has the lead at Oakland. 1-0 in the top of the 4th inning. Against Dallas, get off my mound, Braden.
That's with his turf.
Now that the word is out on Dallas, that A-Rod episode, A-Rod running across the mound, cutting across from third to first. After the ball was fouled, do you think any other guy would try that on Dallas?
No, I don't think so. Most guys kind of respect that as the pitcher's turf. And, you know, the guy that would try it would be like an old friend, if he had, from another team, somebody he's played with or went to high school with or played some summer ball with. That's
yeah.
If I were that guy, I'd be tempted to do it.
That'd be fun.
Or run straight at the mound and then veer around and kind of deke him.
Strikeout for Heilman. That ends the 8th inning. No runs a hit and a man stranded. 9-1. Southwest Airlines. Here in downtown Houston, it's 9-1. Arizona has been pouring it on with the 3-run homer in the 4th by Chris Snyder, breaking the 1-1 tie. Then they got 2 in the 7th, 3 more in the 8th. And Brian Moeller now works the 9th inning. Gerardo Parra first up. Parra's 1 for 4. He's got a cute little Astros outfit on. With the pom-poms. She needs something to cheer about. Well, the bottom of the 9th is coming. She'll stick around for that.
Sure about the fact that the game's about to end?
There's ball 1.
Sooner or later.
Yeah. She doesn't want to leave. Parra takes a strike. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And tomorrow night, game 2 of this series, we'll find Roy Oswalt on the mound at 7:05 against Ian Kennedy. Kennedy picked up by the D-backs from the New York Yankees. 2 balls and a strike. So far, the reports on him are good. Ian's 25 years old. Matsui with a good play from a knee. Throws out Parra. Well done for out number 1 in the 9th.
Very well done. Good look at an infielder as he's moving forward up on the balls of his feet, ready to react. Very nice. He's rather cat-like.
That's 1 down. Now it's Snyder. There's the big hit of the night, the 3-run homer. And it's strike 1. Well, it was a 3-way trade bringing Ian Kennedy to the Arizona Diamondbacks over the winter. He and Edwin Jackson coming in from Detroit. And Curtis Granderson went to the Yankees. He's now hurt. No balls, 2 strikes to Snyder. Cole Gillespie comes out to the on-deck circle. Right-handed hitting outfielder. And Blaine Boyer has been warming up in the bullpen. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Max Scherzer left Arizona in that 3-way deal. He went to Detroit along with Daniel Schlereth. So there's the guy who could have been their lefty in the bullpen. They traded him. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and then Scherzer, he's got a big arm.
Yes, he does. Good looking prospect. Popped up, back out of play.
Yeah, Ryan Madsen broke his toe after coughing up a save. He kicked the chair. The Phillies reliever who was filling in as a closer for Brad Lidge. He's going to have surgery tomorrow on his toe, and it'll be out longer than anticipated.
Uh-oh.
You got to keep your cool when you blow a save. You can't be punching things and kicking things.
Well, sometimes a hitter will come in and punch the wall and break his hand and be out for weeks. We saw Edwin Jackson over there on the bench. He pitched yesterday for Arizona. And it's high, and it's ball 3 to Snyder. Bowler's thrown 36 pitches tonight. Matsui is due up second after Quintero to lead it off in the 9th inning. The pitcher spot is number 2 in the order now for Houston. Hit sharply, Feliz. 2 outs. And now we get the pinch hitter for the pitcher. Heilman in 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs. He had no walks, and he struck out 2. Cole Gillespie's the pinch hitter for him. Drafted by the Brewers in 06. Diamondbacks got him in a trade last July. Gillespie had a good series in Chicago, going 5 for 12 with 3 doubles and 2 runs batted in. Went 1 for 3 yesterday. And he's hit safely in his last 3 starts. Made his major league debut against the Cardinals April 21st. Got his first hit. It was a pinch double off Chris Carpenter. That's a pretty nice way to break in. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cole Gillespie.
Peter Graves still here.
Well, he's thinking Mission Impossible 9-1. 2-1.
Brad Mills, your mission, should you choose to accept it.
The key is not to self-destruct during losing streaks. Tap foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the guy with the he's the U of H fan. He's found a seat now. We don't see the banner he had.
Folded it up, put it away after Snyder hit that home run.
Grounded foul, third base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count.
Well, you know, there's that old adage that sports doesn't build character, it reveals character. So Astros with plenty of opportunity here to show you what kind of character they have going through this stretch.
Absolutely. A loss tonight would tag them with a 7-game losing streak. And if they lose by this 9-1 score, they would have been outscored during the 7 games, 46-13.
An 8 and a 7-game losing streak. 2 separate streaks in the first 25 ball games.
Yeah. They need another one of those 8-2 stretches. Rolled out to second. Matsui over to Berkman. Bottom of the 9th is coming with the D-backs up 9-1. And Arizona has really enjoyed it. Diamondbacks trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They have this big lead, and they go to Blaine Boyer. In the bottom of the 9th inning, he will be pitcher number 4 for A.J. Hinch.
See, that's the thing. Even when the home team is losing, you can come to the ballpark and have a little fun. And Boyer, he's one of those guys with a low ERA, 7.56 for 8 1/3 innings of work. He's walked 8 guys, and he's yielded a 3.53 batting average. So the numbers pretty ugly for him here in the early going.
They'll face Quintero first, and then Matsui. Michael Bourn due up 3rd in the inning. Quintero's 1 for 3. Single to center field his first time up, and then he lined to first base in the 6th inning. The Astros have been out hit 12-7. There are no errors tonight. Each club has left 9 men on base. Boyer was tagged on Friday at Chicago with 3 runs in 1/3 of an inning. So a good chance for him to come in and try to get himself turned around. Here's strike 1. His last 6 outings, he's given up 7 earned runs over 5 innings.
Came up with the Braves in 2005. Had a good long look with them in 08, worked 76 times that year.
Rally catch. fouls it back. And he's from Atlanta. 22. He was a center fielder in high school. And 28 years old. He was a third-round pick. And he was a Cardinal. Arizona claimed him last year on waivers from St. Louis. 2-2. Warrior in 05. And ERA with Atlanta 3.11 during 4-2. Some shoulder surgery in 06. He gets a strikeout. 1 out. Strikeout number 6 for Arizona. Matsui fouled out to third in the 7th inning. Matsui, as a left-handed batter, was hitting .216 when this game started. He had only had 3 at-bats as a right-handed hitter. Usually it's Keppinger in there batting right against lefties and playing second base. Strike 1 to Caswell with Michael Bourn on deck. It's 1-1. Arizona's giving the Astros a tough run over the years, leading the overall series 48-38, 21-19 here at Minute Maid Park. 2 balls, 1 strike. Husman and Vasquez went 2 scoreless, and Heilman pitched a scoreless 8. So this Diamondback bullpen has been doing quite well tonight.
Yeah, the numbers aren't good, but the arms are, though. I mean, we've seen Heilman a lot in the past. He's got a good arm. Boy, we've seen a little bit. He's throwing 95 miles an hour. The kid Vasquez reached 100 on one of his fastballs. If the gun's not lying. Of course, it's not all about velocity, but for guys coming out of the pen, you'd like to have that.
Flared to left, but shallow, and Drew is there. 2 outs.
Be remiss if I didn't wish a happy birthday to Engelbert Humperdinck.
How old is that?
74 years old.
74. What was your favorite Engelbert song? Please Release Me?
Yeah. Please Release Me. Quando, Quando, Quando.
Ah.
Delilah.
Michael Bourn has a double and a walk. He stolen a base, scored a run. They want him to run wild. Strike 1 to Michael. Well, he's tied for the league lead in steals with 11. He has been running wild. It's 1-1. That Please Release Me might be the anthem of several baseball players down over the years.
We used to sing it all the time in the minor leagues.
Oh.
When we were going bad, singing on the bus. Please release me, send me home. I can't get anybody out anymore. To waste my life would be a sin. Send me home and let me live again.
2 balls and a strike. Remember Gary Nolan of the Cincinnati Reds?
Yeah.
He used to sing a given song, a certain one, every day on the bus when he pitched.
Really?
Afternoon Delight. He would sing that song.
Really?
Yeah. Riding to the ballpark every day. Most pitchers are quiet the day they pitch.
Yeah.
No, he would have us all in stitches. He was at his funniest the day he pitched.
Starland Vocal Band sang that song.
Wow. You just failed to miss any of those artists. They're all over there. Jason Michaels on deck. That was fun.
I did find it.
Somebody evidently came up with a play. There he is.
I think the fans are cheering that we took a whack at the Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay. That's it.
We're down 9-1, but by golly, we might be able to hit them with a line drive.
Yeah. The late Richie Ashburn could have done it. He was just very precise in where he hit his foul balls. He could nail them. Slowly hit. Kelly Johnson hurries. Safe at first. And Michael Bourn muscles his way into an infield hit, his second hit of the game.
The fans are having some fun. Those that have hung in there having a little fun here. And you talk about integrity from an umpire. In a 9-1 ball game, a bang-bang play at first base, Brian Lunke's showing me something. Really I think a lot of guys are calling him out and heading to the clubhouse.
At Jason Michaels, there's that banner. And looks like it's right side up this time. Jason Michaels is a pinch hitter for Brian Moeller. He's hitting .211. He has 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. He had 19 at bats, .579 slugging percentage for J. Mike. There's ball 1. As a pinch hitter, he's 2 for 10 with a home run and has driven in 2. Carlos Lee's on deck. Michaels has 6 career pinch homers. We're going to see that Michael Bourn foul ball. Uh-oh.
Fire in the hole.
That cleared him out. By golly, if we can't beat you, we'll take out one of your pitchers for later on in the series. 2 balls and a strike. Jason Michaels with 2 home runs, and he is tied for the club lead with those 2 homers, despite the fact that he's had only 19 at bats. 3-0. And 3-1. Boyer trying to finish it and give Valdez his first major league win. And it's 3-2. Back in 2000, an Arizona pitcher was making his major league debut and he beat the Astros at Houston. Geraldo Guzman.
I remember him.
I don't remember him either.
And the last debuting pitcher to beat the Astros was Ryan O'Malley of the Cubs, tossed 8 scoreless innings. I don't remember him either.
Yeah. What year was that, do you know?
06.
Okay. Line foul. That was here at Houston, right?
I don't know. I just got the.
I think it was a weekend series, and the Cubs called him up. And,
that does ring a bell.
Yeah. Came up very large in that series.
What happened to him?
Can't answer that. Phil Boudreau says it was the day after an extra inning game. He has an encyclopedic memory of that. Fouled away.
The 18-inning game? Was it that one? We played an 18-inning game with the Cubs here.
It might have been.
Too long ago. That's when I retired the guaranteed win jacket. Because we went at Ward that night. We went 18 innings.
Oh. Is that jacket still around?
Hit that raccoon on the Hardy Toll Road.
Oh, that's right.
Just figured the jacket was out of karma. Yeah, it's in my closet. But
I'm going to trot that out tomorrow. And we'll try to avoid the animals on the way home, but it's probably going to be worth it. People have been asking where that thing is, by the way.
Well, after that, I said never again.
And besides that, our cameramen needed to test their cameras before we go on the air every night. Fly ball left. Caught by Parra. And in the ninth for the Astros, no runs, a hit, and a man left. First major league win for Cesar Valdez. And he went 5 innings, gave up 1 run. Arizona then was able to add to that, so he had a pretty relaxing watch from the dugout over those final 4 innings as Arizona beat Houston 9-1 the final. Diamondbacks snapped their 3-game losing streak, and the Astros are tagged with a 7